Night is not the end of creation, my friend. Night is the hour when creation becomes most intimate. The world grows quiet. The duties of the day loosen their hold. The senses begin to soften, and the soul is no longer compelled to bow before the same appearances that stood so loudly beneath the sun. During the day, you move among facts. You answer demands. You meet duties. You look upon delays, conditions, circumstances, words, faces, obligations, and visible things. The day seems to belong to movement, effort, decision, and the testimony of the senses. But night belongs to consciousness. Night belongs to assumption. Night belongs to the hidden creative power of imagination. When the body lies down and the outer world withdraws, you are standing at a doorway more powerful than most men have ever understood. For before sleep, man is not merely tired, he is receptive, he is close to the deep. He is near the chamber where states are accepted and later clothed in the garments of experience. This is why you must not enter sleep carelessly. You must not carry into the deep the same old identity of wanting, waiting, hoping, chasing, forcing, and wondering why life has not yet obeyed. For what you sleep as, you begin to live from. Perhaps you are here tonight with many desires. Perhaps one desire has followed you for years. Perhaps it is money, or love, or peace, or health, or a home, or freedom, or success, or a reconciliation, or a new beginning that seems to call you from beyond the facts of your present life. Perhaps you have prayed. Perhaps you have affirmed. Perhaps you have imagined for a few moments and then returned to fear. Perhaps you have tried to persuade life, force life, chase life, plead with life, and still the thing desired seems to stand outside you. But tonight will not be another night of reaching. Tonight you do not chase the desire. Tonight you enter the state, for the thing desired comes naturally to the one who sleeps as its owner. It does not come naturally to the one who sleeps as its beggar. It does not come naturally to the one who sleeps in distance, lack, fear, or anxious waiting. It comes naturally to the one who inwardly accepts the state in which the desire already belongs. This is the great secret. You are not here to beg the world. You are here to change the state from which the world is seen. Before you drift deeper into this night's work, take one simple outer action that mirrors the inward decision you are making now. Subscribe to this channel, not as an empty gesture, not as a habit of the outer world, but as a quiet declaration that you are willing to return to these teachings, to live by imagination, and to stop sleeping as the one who lacks. Let that small act say within you, I am no longer here to chase. I am here to assume. And if you have not yet done it, subscribe now as a second inward yes. Let it be calm, simple, and deliberate. Let it be your sign that you are choosing to be taught again and again by the law, until the state of natural fulfillment becomes familiar to you. Every time you return, these words will water the seed you plant tonight. Every time you listen with feeling, you are reminded that life does not begin outside you. It begins in consciousness. Now let the outer gesture be finished, and return with me to the inner work. You have chased long enough. You have carried the desire as though it were far away long enough. You have measured the distance between yourself and fulfillment long enough. Now the night invites you to another way. Do not think of desire as something you must drag toward you through force. Think of desire as a state you may enter. The desire is not merely an object waiting at the end of time. It is a state of consciousness existing now. There is a state in which you are already provided for. There is a state in which you are already loved. There is a state in which you are already free. There is a state in which the door has already opened. There is a state in which the answer is no longer far. There is a state in which what you want feels natural, ordinary, expected. That is the state you are entering tonight, not with violence, not with strain, not with a restless attempt to compel the world, but with the calm authority of one who has discovered where causation truly begins. The world outside you is a shadow cast by the state within you. The senses may show you what appears to be delayed. They may show you what appears to be missing. They may show you what appears to be difficult, distant, impossible, or uncertain. But the senses are not the creators of life. They report, they do not originate. They bring you news of what has been accepted before. Imagination selects what shall be accepted now. And so tonight, you are not asked to fight the senses. You are not asked to deny what appears in a hard, nervous way. You are asked to enter a higher reality. You are asked to move inwardly from the state of wanting into the state of having. You are asked to stop looking at the desire as though it were outside you and begin to look from the desire as though it were your natural dwelling place. This is the difference between longing and possession. Longing stands outside the door and says, "When will it open?" Possession enters the house and rests. Longing watches the table from outside and says, "When will I be fed?" Possession sits at the table. Longing looks at the shore from the sea and says, "Will I ever arrive?" Possession feels the ground beneath its feet. Longing says, "It is far." Possession says, "It is natural now." You are not here tonight to make your longing louder. You are here to make possession natural. You are not here to repeat desire as a cry of absence. You are here to enter desire as a fulfilled state. You are not here to sleep as one excluded from your good. You are here to sleep as one to whom your good belongs. Everything you want begins to come naturally when you stop sleeping as the one who lacks it. Let that be heard slowly. Everything you want begins to come naturally when you stop sleeping as the one who lacks it. The state you carry into sleep is not a small thing. It is not a passing mood with no consequence. It is the clothing of I am as it enters the deep. If you fall asleep as one waiting, waiting is impressed. If you fall asleep as one chasing, chasing is impressed. If you fall asleep as one uncertain, uncertainty is impressed. If you fall asleep as one who says, "I still do not have it," then the deep receives lack as your final name. But if you fall asleep as one for whom it is natural, natural fulfillment is impressed. If you fall asleep as the one who is provided for, loved, guided, chosen, free, successful, peaceful, and complete, then the deep receives that identity. And the subconscious, faithful to the state accepted, begins to build the bridge by which the state must appear. You do not need to know how tonight. How belongs to the bridge. You do not need to know when tonight. When belongs to the bridge. You do not need to know through whom tonight. The instruments belong to the bridge. You need only know the state. You need only enter it. You need only sleep there. The thing desired comes naturally to the one who sleeps as its owner. Consider how different this is from the old way. The old way says, "I must chase it until it comes." The law says, "Enter the state where it has come, and the bridge will form." The old way says, "I must convince the world." The law says, "Convince yourself inwardly by occupation, and the world will mirror the state." The old way says, "I must beg life to give it to me." The law says, "Assume the state in which life has already given, and let life conform." Tonight you are leaving the old way. You are leaving the state that reaches. You are leaving the state that begs. You are leaving the state that feels late, forgotten, refused, unchosen, unlucky, unsupported, or outside the good. You are entering the state where what you want comes naturally. Naturalness is the sign of acceptance. When the desire feels too strange, too far, too high, too impossible, too surprising, you are still viewing it from the old state. But when it begins to feel normal, when it begins to feel like something that belongs with you, when the body no longer startles at the thought of having it, when the mind no longer whispers, "Could this really be mine?" then you are entering the state. This is what I wish you to understand before sleep. You are not trying to become excited. You are not trying to arouse the mind into a fever. You are not trying to force a vision with great strain. You are moving into naturalness. You are taking the desire out of the realm of miracle as something distant and placing it into the realm of identity as something that belongs to you. You are making it inwardly ordinary. And when fulfillment becomes ordinary in consciousness, the world begins to arrange itself around that order. It is natural now. Let that phrase come gently. It is natural now. Not strange, not far, not forbidden, not too much, not impossible. Natural. What you desire belongs to the and the state once accepted has its own power. A man does not need to command every event if he truly occupies the state. The state attracts, selects, arranges, and compels. It moves him and it moves life around him. It gives him thoughts that belong to it, actions that belong to it, meetings that belong to it, words that belong to it, opportunities that belong to it. The fulfilled state is not empty. It is alive with its own bridge. Tonight you enter the state. You enter the state. You do not force the desire. You enter the state. You do not stand outside and wonder whether you are worthy. You enter the state. You do not ask the senses for permission. You enter the state. And as you enter, the desire becomes less like something you are trying to get and more like something you are learning to be. This is a great reversal. Men believe they must get the thing in order to become the one. But I tell you, become the one in imagination, and the thing must come as witness. Become the one who is provided for, and provision begins to find its road. Become the one who is loved, and love begins to take form. Become the one who is successful, and success begins to gather its incidents. Become the one who is free, and freedom begins to rearrange circumstances. Become the one to whom good comes naturally, and life begins to confirm the state. Do not wait for the world to make you natural to your desire. Become natural to it now. If what you desire is money, do not sleep as the one begging for money. Sleep as the one to whom provision is natural. If what you desire is love, do not sleep as the one pleading to be chosen. Sleep as the one for whom being loved is natural. If what you desire is peace, do not sleep as the one married to conflict. Sleep as the one for whom peace is natural. If what you desire is health, do not sleep as the one worshipping illness. Sleep as the one for whom vitality is natural. If what you desire is a home, do not sleep as the one outside the door. Sleep as the one who already lives there inwardly. This is not fantasy in the shallow sense. This is spiritual reality. Imagination is the real self moving among states. Where you go in imagination, if you make it real, you begin to go in life. Therefore, do not use imagination tonight to repeat the old condition. Use it to enter the fulfilled state. Do not use it to continue the argument of lack. Use it to dwell in possession. Do not use it to ask why nothing has happened. Use it to become the one for whom it has happened. The night is merciful, because the day's evidence weakens in the dark. The objects are not so loud. The duties are not so near. The faces of the world recede. The body becomes still. The eyes close. Thought begins to soften. The doorway opens. And in this doorway you may choose your state. Choose carefully. Do not choose waiting. Do not choose chasing. Do not choose lack. Do not choose the old story. Do not choose the identity that says, I am not there yet. Choose fulfillment. Choose naturalness. Choose inward possession. Choose the state where everything you want comes naturally. Let the body begin to receive this idea. It does not need to be convinced all at once. Let it receive slowly. The shoulders may soften because you are not chasing tonight. The breath may deepen because you are not forcing tonight. The jaw may loosen because you are not arguing with life tonight. The hands may rest because you are not grasping tonight. The chest may release because you are entering the state, not begging at the gate. Tonight, you do not chase the desire. Let the body hear it. Tonight, you enter the state. Let the breath hear it. The thing desired comes naturally to the one who sleeps as its owner. Let the heart hear it. You are not here to beg the world. You are here to change the state from which the world is seen. Let the deep hear it. There is nothing to chase in this moment. There is only a state to enter. There is no world to fight in this moment. There is only consciousness to clothe. There is no distance to measure in this moment. There is only imagination to occupy. And if you occupy the fulfilled state before sleep, sleep will carry that state where waking effort cannot reach. Do not ask yourself tonight, how shall I make everything come? Ask instead, who would I be if it came naturally? That is the true question. Who would I be if provision came naturally? Who would I be if love came naturally? Who would I be if success came naturally? Who would I be if peace came naturally? Who would I be if the answer came naturally? Who would I be if the life I desire no longer felt far away? You would be quieter. You would be less desperate. You would be more open. You would be less afraid. You would not chase every sign. You would not force every road. You would not sleep in the feeling of absence. You would carry a calm inward knowing. You would feel that the thing desired belongs with you. You would say, "It is natural now." Say it softly. "It is natural now. The desire is not far. It is natural now. The desire, the state is accepted. It is natural now. I do not chase. It is natural now. I receive." This is the mood that will guide the whole night. Not one desire alone, but the deeper state beneath all fulfilled desire. The state of natural receiving, the state of quiet possession, the state in which the world is not begged but reflected, the state in which the senses may still appear to tell an old story, but you are no longer taking your final identity from them. You are taking your identity from imagination, and imagination says, "Enter, enter the house, enter the answer, enter the wealth, enter the love, enter the peace, enter the success, enter the freedom, enter the fulfilled life." Do not stand outside admiring it. Enter. Do not stand outside wishing for it. Enter. Do not stand outside wondering whether it will accept you. Enter. The door is consciousness. The key is a sum. Now let the night become that door. Let the darkness no longer seem empty. Let it become full of possibility. Let the silence no longer seem like absence. Let it become the silence in which the seed is received. Let the drowsiness no longer seem like the end of effort. Let it become the beginning of creation. For when deep sleep comes upon men, instruction is sealed in the inward parts. Sleep is not nothing. Sleep receives the state. Therefore tonight you will not sleep as the old self. You will not sleep as the one who waits. You will not sleep as the one who forces. You will not sleep as the one who chases. You will not sleep as the one who wonders why nothing has come. You will sleep as the one to whom it comes naturally. You will sleep as the one who is already in the state. You will sleep as the one whose desire belongs. You will sleep as the one who receives. Let this be gentle. Do not tighten around it. Do not make a labor of naturalness. Naturalness cannot be forced, but it can be allowed. Allow the possibility that what you want is not too far. Allow the possibility that the fulfilled state is available now. Allow the possibility that the bridge can form without your anxious supervision. Allow the possibility that the old state is not your home. Allow the possibility that tonight you may sleep in a new identity. I enter the state where everything I want comes naturally. Let that phrase become the first door. I enter the state where everything I want comes naturally. Let it be simple. I enter the state where everything I want comes naturally. Let it be soft enough for sleep. Do not try to gather every desire in the mind at once. The state knows them. The state is greater than the list. If you become the one to whom fulfillment comes naturally, the particular desires find their place within that state. You do not need to name them all now. You do not need to inspect them. You do not need to arrange them in order. Enter the state, and the state will know what belongs to it. A tree does not strain to produce each leaf by anxious thought. It lives from its nature, and the leaves appear. The sun does not chase each ray. It shines from what it is, and light extends. So you must not chase every separate desire as though you were a beggar running in many directions. Enter the nature of fulfillment. Become the state of natural receiving. From the state, what belongs to it appears. Everything you want comes naturally when you are no longer inwardly opposed to having it. Everything you want comes naturally when it no longer feels foreign to your identity. Everything you want comes naturally when you sleep as the one who already lives from fulfillment. Everything you want comes naturally when you stop making absence your final feeling. Everything you want comes naturally when I am is joined to receiving. I am the one to whom it comes naturally. Let that be heard. I am the one to whom it comes naturally, not because of outer proof, because I have entered the state. I am the one to whom it comes naturally, not someday. Now, in consciousness, I am the one to whom it comes naturally, and this night is the door. The day may have shown you delay. let the day pass. The night invites assumption. The day may have shown you lack, let the day pass. The day may have shown you effort, let the day pass. The night invites rest. The day may have shown you distance, let the day pass. The night invites entrance. You are entering now, slowly, quietly, without force, without chasing, without begging, without needing the senses to agree before you begin. You are entering the state where everything you want is no longer distant, but inwardly natural. And as you enter this state, the whole work of the night begins. Now, my friend, let us speak softly of chasing, for it is one of the most subtle ways in which man keeps his desire at a distance. He may call it devotion, he may call it effort, he may call it persistence, he may even call it faith. But if the inner movement is one of strain, hunger, fear, and distance, then he is not living in the fulfilled state. He is living in separation. To chase a desire is to confess inwardly that it is not here. It is to say without words, I must run after it. I must persuade it. I must make it come. I am not yet the one who has it. And the hidden confession is more powerful than the beautiful sentence spoken upon the surface. A man may say, it is mine, yet feel, where is it? A man may say, I believe, yet sleep in the ache of not being chosen. A man may say, I have assumed, yet spend the night reaching toward the desire as though it were still beyond him. The law does not answer the sentence alone. It answers the state. This is why you must become very honest with yourself before sleep, but not cruel. Honesty is not condemnation. It is simply seeing where you stand in consciousness. Are you standing inside the desire as one who has entered it? Or are you standing outside the desire as one still begging to be admitted? Are you thinking from the wish fulfilled? Or are you still thinking of the wish as something absent, shining somewhere beyond you? Chasing says, it is outside me. Occupying says, I am already in the state. Chasing says, I must make it happen. Occupying says, it is natural to me now. Chasing says, I am not yet the one. Occupying says, I am the one now. These are not merely phrases, they are two worlds. They are two positions of consciousness. One is the outer court of desire, where man stands before the door and pleads. The other is the inner chamber, where man has entered and rests as one. One keeps the desire as an object. The other makes it a dwelling. One worships the desire from afar. The other wears the state as identity. Tonight, I do not want you to worship your desire from afar. I want you to enter. If you continue to chase, you continue to measure distance. Every thought becomes a measuring rod. How far is it? How long has it taken? Why has it not happened? Who must change? What must move? What must I do to force it? Every question secretly strengthens the feeling that you are not yet in the desired state. The mind may believe it is working, but often it is only repeating separation in 1,000 forms. The desire itself is not the enemy. Desire is divine in its origin. Desire is life-seeking expansion through you. Desire is the invitation to rise into a greater state of being. But when you relate to desire as something withheld, something distant, something you must chase in order to become whole, then desire is no longer a doorway, it becomes a whip, and man exhausts himself beneath the very thing that was meant to awaken him. The teaching I give you is not first about outward pursuit, it is about inward possession. This does not mean there will be no action. Action has its place, words have their place, movement has its place, but right action comes from a state, forced action comes from lack. The same letter written from desperation and from fulfilled calm is not the same letter. The same journey taken from fear and from inner certainty is not the same journey. The same silence held from helplessness and from assumption is not the same silence. The state gives meaning to all movement. Therefore, before sleep, do not ask, what must I chase tomorrow? Ask, what must I occupy tonight? This is the great question. What must I occupy? Not what must I force? Not what must I watch? Not what must I beg for? Not what must I make happen by strain? What must I occupy? What state must I enter so completely that sleep receives it as my final identity? If you want wealth, you do not chase coins in imagination. You occupy provision. You occupy safety. You occupy the calm of one who is not stretched thin by fear. You occupy the natural feeling that money answers your life, that there is enough, that doors open, that means appear, that provision belongs to you. If you want love, you do not chase affection in imagination. You occupy being loved. You occupy being chosen. You occupy the warmth of belonging. You occupy the quiet certainty that you are remembered, desired, valued, and received. You do not sleep as one knocking on the door of another's heart. You sleep as one already. If you want success, you do not chase applause in imagination. You occupy recognition. You occupy competence. You occupy the feeling of standing in your place, doing your work, and knowing it is received. You do not sleep as one hoping to become worthy. You sleep as one whose worth is already established within. If you want peace, you do not chase peace as though it were an object far away. You occupy peace. You let the body learn stillness. You let the mind cease its argument. You let the heart no longer run ahead. You sleep as one already free from the inner war. If you want health, you do not chase health from fear of illness. You occupy vitality. You occupy normalcy. You occupy the feeling of ease in the body. You occupy the simple assumption that life moves rightly through you. In every case, the principle is the same. You are not reaching toward a distant thing. You are entering the state of the one who already lives from it. Chasing keeps the desire away because chasing repeats the position of not having. You cannot sleep as the one who lacks and wake securely as the one who has. You cannot make absence your final feeling and expect presence to be your natural expression. You cannot keep saying inwardly, I am not there, and then wonder why life continues to show you roads instead of arrival. The state must change. This change is inward, but do not call it small. The inward change is the only true beginning. A man may change many outward things and still remain in the old state. He may move rooms, change garments, write letters, speak words, travel roads, and yet inwardly remain the one who chases. Then the same state follows him. But if he changes state, even while lying still in bed, he has moved more profoundly than the man who runs in fear all day. For where you stand in consciousness determines what the world becomes to you. If you stand in chasing, the world appears. If you stand in lack, the world appears as something withholding. If you stand in rejection, the world appears as a closed door. If you stand in fear, the world appears as threat. But if you stand in possession, the world begins to appear as confirmation. If you stand in naturalness, the world begins to arrange naturally. If you stand in assumption, the world begins to mirror. If you stand in I am, joined to fulfillment, the world begins to bend toward that identity. Tonight, then, let us separate chasing from true persistence. Persistence is not frantic repetition. Persistence is loyalty to the fulfilled state. Persistence does not mean spending the night hunting the desire. Persistence means returning to the feeling of already being the one whenever the old self calls you away. Chasing says, I must get there. Persistence says, I remain here, in the end. Chasing runs. Persistence abides. There is a very great difference between running toward a state and abiding in it. Running toward it says, I am outside. Abiding in it says, I am here. Running toward it says, it has not accepted me. Abiding in it says, it is mine in consciousness. Running toward it says, maybe one day. Abiding in it says, now. Therefore tonight, do not run. Abide. The body may be lying still, yet the inner man may still be running. He runs through fears. He runs through imagined conversations. He runs through signs. He runs through delays. He runs through memories. He runs through imagined failures. He runs through every road except the one road that matters, the inward road into possession. Let the running stop. Let the mind cease its chase. Let the heart come home. I do not chase, I occupy. Let this phrase enter slowly. I do not chase, I occupy. Not as a performance, not as another. Let it become a quiet correction of direction. You are facing outward. Now turn inward. You were reaching toward the desire. Now stand within it. You were asking the world to give you identity. Now take identity from imagination. I do not chase, I occupy. The one who occupies does not need to prove possession every moment. He does not open the door of his own house repeatedly to see whether he lives there. He does not clutch his own name in fear of losing it. He does not stand outside his own inheritance. He rests in what he is. This is what I mean by inward possession. It is not arrogance. It is not noise. It is not struggle. It is the stillness of accepted being. You must stop relating to the desire as something distant. This is important. Stop relating to it as something that must be persuaded to come. Stop relating to it as something that looks upon you from afar. Stop relating to it as though it belongs to another order of life. Stop relating to it as though you must become anxious enough to deserve it. Begin relating to it as something normal, something familiar, something that belongs, something you may sleep within, something that is not above you, but natural to the state you accept. The old self may object. It may say, but how can I feel it as natural when the world says otherwise? This is precisely the work. If the world already said otherwise in your favor, you would not need to assume. Assumption begins while appearances still seem contrary. Imagination is not asked to bow before the world. Imagination is asked to select the state that the world must eventually express. The senses say, look at what is. Imagination says, enter what shall be and let it become what is. The senses say, you are not there. Imagination says, stand there now. The senses say, it is not yours. Imagination says, feel it as natural. The senses say, you must chase. Imagination says, occupy. This is the discipline of the inward man. It is not violent. It is not strained. It is a quiet refusal to be hypnotized by absence. The world may show an empty chair, but imagination lets you feel companionship. The world may show a small purse, but imagination lets you feel provision. The world may show delay, but imagination lets you feel arrival. The world may show silence, but imagination lets you hear the word that implies fulfillment. The world may show nothing changed, but imagination lets you become the one who has changed state. And state is cause. Do not treat this as a small statement. State is cause. The thing desired is not first an object moving toward you. It is first a state awakening within you. When you enter the state, you have entered the cause from which the object, the event, the meeting, the opportunity, the answer, or the change must arise. If you remain chasing the object, you are dealing with shadows. If you enter the state, you are touching substance. I have seen men try to change the shadow and ignore the body that casts it. They chase one sign, then another. They pursue one circumstance, then another. They run after proof, they fight reflection. But the wise man turns to the state. He changes where he stands in consciousness, and the shadow must alter. Tonight, you are not changing shadows. You are changing state. Let that be restful. You do not need to solve all outer things before sleep. You need to cease sleeping in the state that produces them. You do not need to compel every fact. You need to enter the inner fact of fulfillment. You do not need to run after every desire. You need to become the one to whom desire comes naturally. This is why chasing is so exhausting. It asks the outer man to do the work of the inner state. It asks effort to replace assumption. It asks fear to become power. It asks anxiety to create order. It asks longing to become possession. But longing, if never transformed, remains longing. Desire must be carried into assumption. Wanting must become having. Distance must become entrance. The cry must become identity. I do not chase, I occupy. Let the words become slower. Let them quiet the old hunger. I do not chase, I occupy. Let them restore authority to imagination. Perhaps you have spent many nights lying in bed, thinking of the very thing you wanted, but feeling its absence more than its reality. You thought of the money and felt lack. You thought of the person and felt separation. You thought of the home and felt outside. You thought of success and felt unrecognized. You thought of peace and felt troubled. In each case, the desire was present to the mind, but absence was present to the state. This is the difference between thinking of and thinking from. Thinking of the desire may still leave you outside it. Thinking from the desire places you within it. You may think of a warm fire while standing in the cold, but to think from warmth you must be by the fire. You may think of a feast while hungry outside the house, but to think from the feast you must sit at the table. You may think of your desired life as a picture upon a wall, but to think from it you must step into the picture and let it become your world. Tonight, do not look at the picture, step into it. If your desire were fulfilled, what would be normal now? What would no longer surprise you? What would you no longer chase? What would you no longer fear losing? What would your mornings feel like? What would your evenings feel like? What would your body stop doing? What would your inner speech no longer say? What would become ordinary? That ordinariness is important. Fulfillment must become ordinary to you in imagination before it becomes natural in life. If it remains too dramatic, too distant, too astonishing, then a part of you still stands outside it. You say how wonderful it would be, but the very phrase may carry distance. Instead, let it become normal. Let it become something that belongs in your house of consciousness. Let it sit beside you calmly. Let it feel familiar. It is natural to me now. This is not a small phrase. It is a change of relation. It is natural to me now. The desire is no longer a stranger. It is natural to me now. Fulfillment belongs to my state. It is natural to me now. I do not chase. It is natural to me now. I do not chase. It is natural to me now. I occupy. When you occupy, the desire loses its torment. It may still be loved deeply, but it no longer makes you feel incomplete. It becomes part of the state you wear. And from that state, life begins to move in ways the anxious mind could never design. A letter may come, a person may remember, a road may open, an idea may arise, a delay may become useful, a meeting may occur, a door may be shown. You do not need to design these movements now. Chasing wants to design them because chasing does not trust the state. Occupying lets the state build its own bridge. The bridge belongs to the state, not to panic, not to pressure, not to restless inspection. The bridge belongs to the state. Therefore, enter the state and let the bridge form. This is why before sleep, you must not hold the desire as a problem. Hold it as fulfilled. If you hold it as a problem, you chase a solution. If you hold it as fulfilled, you occupy the answer. The same desire can be held in two ways. Held from lack, it becomes torment. Held from fulfillment, it becomes peace. The desire has not changed, the state has changed. A man wanting a home may lie awake saying, I have no home. How will I ever find one? Where is the money? Who will help me? When will it happen? This is chasing. Another man may lie down and feel himself in the house. He may feel the bed in that house. He may imagine rising and walking across the floor. He may sense the room as his own. He may fall asleep in occupancy. This is assumption. This is possession. This is the way of the law. A person wanting love may lie awake asking, why am I not chosen? Why are they silent? When will I be wanted? What must I do? This is chasing. Another may lie down and feel the warmth of being loved. Hear a loving word. Feel the naturalness of being chosen. Rest as one whose heart is received. This is occupancy. A person wanting wealth may lie awake counting fears. This is chasing. Another may lie down feeling provision as natural, seeing life from the place of enough, sensing the ease of being supplied. This is occupancy. Do you see? It is not the subject that matters first. It is the state from which it is approached. The subject may be anything. The law remains the same. Chasing keeps it distant. Occupation brings it inward. And what is brought inward as real must seek outward form. Now gently examine the feeling of chasing in the body. Do not do this harshly. Simply notice. Chasing often leans forward. It tightens the chest. It raises the shoulders. It narrows the breath. It makes the hands want to hold, grasp, control. It makes the face prepare for disappointment. It makes the stomach wait for bad news. It makes the mind restless. This is not the body of the wish fulfilled. The body of the fulfilled state is different. It may be quiet. It may be simple. It may not be ecstatic. It may only feel like a gentle release from pursuit. The shoulders soften, the breath descends, the jaw loosens, the hands rest, the chest becomes less guarded, the mind stops running ahead. The body begins to say, I am not outside it, I am within it. Let the body learn now. You do not need to reach, you do not need to chase, you do not need to force, you do not need to persuade, you do not need to run through the night. You may occupy. I do not chase, I occupy. Let the shoulders hear it. I do not chase, I occupy. I do not chase, I occupy. Let the heart hear it. I do not chase, I occupy. Let the deep hear it. There is no virtue in sleeping tense. There is no wisdom in entering the subconscious with the feeling of pursuit. The deep mind receives what is impressed. Give it possession, not pursuit. Give it naturalness, not desperation. Give it I am, not when will I be. Give it the fulfilled state, not the restless search. The old self believes that if it stops chasing, nothing will happen. But it has chased, and still it remains tired. It has worried, and worry has not become wisdom. It has forced, and force has not become fulfillment. Let the old self rest. Let it discover another law. The desire does not need your anxiety. It needs your assumption. Say inwardly, I can release the chase without releasing the desire. This is important. I can release the chase without releasing the desire. I can release desperation without releasing fulfillment. I can release fear without releasing love. I can release lack without releasing wealth. I can release waiting without releasing the end. I can release the old state and enter the new. Many fear that if they stop chasing, they are giving up. But you are not giving up the desire. You are giving up the distance. You are giving up the false identity that says, I am not there. You are giving up the posture of one excluded. You are giving up the nightly ritual of absence. You are giving up the chase so that you may finally occupy. The fulfilled state does not need to be hunted. It needs to be entered. Enter now. Enter quietly. Enter without drama. Enter without forcing pictures. If pictures do not come, enter by feeling, enter by assumption, enter by the simple inward shift from I want to I am. I am the one. I am in the state. I am no longer outside. I am no longer chasing. I am the one now. Let these, I am the one now, not the one who hopes to become, not the one who waits to be permitted, not the one who must chase. I am the one now. The old mind may still whisper, but you do not see it. Very well. I do not ask you to see it with the outer eye tonight. I ask you to be it in imagination. I ask you to stand there inwardly. I ask you to sleep there. I ask you to give the state the tones of reality, not by strain, but by natural feeling. The outer eye will see when the state has found its form. The inner eye must lead. Every fulfilled life begins inwardly, as a place to stand. Stand there. Stand in the state where the desire is natural. Stand in the state where you are chosen. Stand in the state where you are provided for. Stand in the state where you are free. Stand in the state where you are answered. Stand in the state where everything you want comes naturally. And then lie down in that standing. Rest in that place. Sleep there. Chasing says, I must go to it. Occupying says, I am there now. Chasing says, the desire is greater than I am. Occupying says, the desire belongs to my state. Chasing says, the world must change before I rest. Occupying says, I rest, and the world follows. Chasing says, I am still waiting. Occupying says, I sleep fulfilled. Let the second voice be your voice tonight. I am there now. It belongs to my state. I rest, and the world follows. I sleep fulfilled. I do not chase, I occupy. The great mistake is to believe that because the outer world is not yet rearranged, you must continue to feel absence. No, the outer world rearranges because you cease to feel absence as identity. You do not wait for the world to give you the state. You give yourself the state, and the world becomes the witness. This is the order. Reverse it, and you chase forever. Restore it, and you enter power. The world is not your source. The state is your source. The outer event is not your savior. The state is your savior. The proof is not the cause. The state is the cause. So do not chase proof. Do not chase signs. Do not chase every small movement in the world as though your life depended upon it. Let proof come as the shadow of state. Let signs come naturally. Let movement arise. But before sleep, remain faithful to the inward position. The position is everything. What is your position tonight? Are you outside or inside? Are you begging or being? Are you chasing or occupying? Are you waiting or assuming? Are you thinking of it or from it? Choose now, gently, inside, being, occupying, assuming, from it. This is the position. This is the door. This is the state. Now let the desire become normal. Whatever you want, do not make it strange. Do not set it upon a high mountain and then suffer beneath it. Bring it near. Let it become part of your inner. Let the feeling of having it become as ordinary as resting your head upon the pillow. Let it be simple enough to sleep in. If it were yours, you would not spend every moment chasing it. If it were yours, you would not ask every hour whether it is coming. If it were yours, you would not approach it as a stranger. If it were yours, there would be a natural ease. Take that ease now, not after. Now, let ease be the evidence of occupancy. Let naturalness be the evidence of assumption. Let the body's release be the evidence that you have stopped running. Let the quiet phrase be the evidence that you have entered. It is natural to me now. I am already in the state. I am the one now. I do not chase. I occupy. Again, slowly. It is natural to me now. I am already in the state. I am the one now. I do not chase. I occupy. Now let the old habit of pursuit become like a garment removed at the end of the day. You have worn it long enough. It has tightened around the chest. It has wearied the mind. It has made desire feel far. Lay it down, not with anger, not with shame. Simply lay it down, because it is not the garment of the fulfilled self. Remove the garment of I am waiting. Remove the garment of I am chasing. Remove the garment of I am not yet. Remove the garment of it is outside me. Remove the garment of I must make it happen. Now put on the garment of occupancy. I am already in the state. It is natural to me now. I am the one now. I sleep as the owner. This garment is quiet. It does not glitter with effort. It does not call attention to itself. It fits the soul naturally. It feels less like excitement and more like home. That is good. Let the fulfilled state feel like home. If the desire feels like home, you will not chase it. You will rest in it. And sleep loves what feels natural. The subconscious receives naturalness more deeply than strain. Strain often keeps the conscious mind awake, guarding the desire like a frightened watchman. Naturalness lets the gate open. Naturalness says, this is who I am. Naturalness allows the state to descend. Therefore, do not try to force yourself into great emotion tonight. Enter the quiet dignity of possession. Enter the calm of one who belongs. I do not chase, I occupy. This is the end of distance. I do not chase, I occupy. This is the beginning of possession. I do not chase. This is the state I carry into sleep. The desire is not outside me. The desire is a state I enter. The desire is not far from me. The desire is natural to me now. The desire is not waiting to judge me. The desire belongs to my fulfilled identity. The desire is not chased. It is occupied. It is assumed. It is accepted. It is lived from within. Now let all effort become inward stillness. Let all searching become entrance. Let all longing become possession. Let all reaching become rest. You have followed the desire long enough as though it were a star fleeing from you. Tonight, it becomes your sky. You do not chase the sky. You stand beneath it. You live in it. You breathe it. So live now in the atmosphere of fulfillment. Breathe from it. Rest from it. Imagine from it. Sleep from it. Do not chase, occupy. The world may not yet know you have moved. Let it learn. The facts may not yet show the new arrangement. Let them follow. The senses may not yet praise your assumption. Let them be late. You are not taking instruction from the late report. You are taking instruction from imagination. And imagination says, enter the state. You have entered. Remain there. You are inside now. Remain there. The desire is natural now. Remain there. You are the one now. Remain there. And as this section closes, let the final sentence be not merely heard, but accepted by the whole inward man. Let it replace the chase. Let it quiet the reaching. Let it become the gentle law of this night. I do not chase, I occupy. Now, my friend, we must come to a truth that once understood changes the whole manner in which man approaches desire. Everything you want exists first as a state, not as something far away in space, not as something held back by the world, not as something waiting in the hands of another, not as something that must be forced, hunted, begged for, or pulled into being by strain. Everything you want exists first as a state of consciousness. Money is a state, love is a state, health is a state, peace is a state, success is a state, freedom is a state, the home is a state, the opportunity is a state, the answer is a state, the fulfilled life is a state, and because it is a state, it can be entered now in imagination. This is where the outer man makes his mistake. He believes the thing desired is only an object, and because he sees no object, he concludes that he has no possession. He says, I do not have the money, therefore I am poor. I do not have the person, therefore I am unloved. I do not have the house, therefore I am outside. I do not have the success, therefore I am failure. I do not have the answer, therefore I am lost. But he is looking only at the garment, not at the state from which the garment is woven. The outer thing is the clothing of an inner state. The state is the living reality. The thing is the expression. The state is cause. The event is effect. The state is the root. The visible fact is the branch. If you chase the branch while remaining in the old root, you exhaust yourself. If you enter the root of fulfillment, the branch must grow according to its nature. Therefore, tonight, you are not here to force the outer thing. You are here to enter the state that corresponds to it. If you desire money, do not merely think of coins, notes, accounts, or amounts. Enter the state of one who is provided for. Enter the state of one who is not afraid of tomorrow's need. Enter the state of one who knows provision has become natural. The one who has money does not feel desperate for money. He may use it, receive it, give it, invest it, hold it, or spend it, but he does not bow before it as a god. He does not sleep in panic as one who is excluded from supply. His inner atmosphere is different. That atmosphere is the state. If you desire love, do not merely think of a face, a name, a letter, a word, or a return. Enter the state of being loved. Enter the state of one whose heart is chosen, remembered, welcomed, and safe. The one who is loved does not beg to be chosen. She does not sleep as one abandoned at the gate. She does not make every silence a verdict against herself. She rests in the warmth of belonging. That warmth is the state. If you desire health, do not merely think of the absence of discomfort. Enter the state of vitality. Enter the state of ease, harmony, movement, natural strength, and quiet confidence in the body. The one who is healthy does not worship illness. He does not give illness the throne of consciousness each night. He does not sleep as disease, fear, and limitation. He sleeps as life moving rightly through him. That living ease is the state. If you desire peace, do not chase a circumstance where no one troubles you and nothing changes. Enter the state of peace. The one who is peaceful does not ask every road for permission to rest. He does not make every outer sound the cause of inner disturbance. He carries a stillness that is deeper than events. That stillness is the state. If you desire success, do not merely imagine praise as something outside you. Enter the state of one whose work is accepted, whose place is established, whose value is recognized. The one who is successful does not sleep in failure. He does not return every night to the old feeling of being unseen, incapable, or behind. He sleeps from accomplishment. He sleeps from acceptance. That inner establishment is the state. If you desire freedom, do not merely think of the doors that must open. Enter the state of being free. The one who is free does not make every condition his master. He does not lie down as a prisoner of circumstance. He feels inwardly released before the visible chains have fallen. That releases the state, and if you desire guidance, do not merely ask which road is correct. Enter the state of one who is guided. The one who is guided does not fear every road. He does not tremble before every choice. He does not imagine that one wrong step has power to destroy him. He rests in the assurance that the right way will be shown, the right word will be spoken, the right movement will arise. That assurance is the state. Everything you name as desire has a corresponding state. And until you enter the state, the desire will continue to appear as something outside you. This is why thinking of the desire is not enough. To think of something is often to remain separate from it. You may think of a distant country and still be in your room. You may think of a feast and still feel hungry. You may think of a home and still stand outside its door. You may think of love and still feel unloved. You may think of wealth and still feel poor. Thinking of the desire can become another way of confirming that it is not here. But thinking from the desire is different. Thinking from the desire means you have moved inwardly into the fulfilled state. You no longer look at it as an object beyond you. You look from it as your place of being. You no longer admire it from a distance. You inhabit it. You no longer ask, what would it be like if I had it, in a way that keeps it away. You quietly assume, this is my state now, and you let thought arise from that place. Thinking of money says, I need money. Where is it? How will it come? Why is there not enough? Thinking from provision says, I am supplied. The means appear. I move from enough. It is natural that provision finds me. Thinking of love says, will I be chosen? Do they want me? Am I remembered? Am I enough? Thinking from being loved says, I am chosen. I am received. I am remembered. Love belongs to my life. Thinking of health says, what if this remains? What if I am not well? What if the body does not change? Thinking from vitality says, life moves in me. Ease is natural. Strength is natural. My body belongs to harmony. Thinking of success says, when will they see me? When will I rise? When will I be recognized? Thinking from success says, my place is established. My work is received. I stand where I belong. Thinking of peace says, when will this end? When will I be safe? When will I stop worrying? Thinking from peace says, I am still. I am free. I am not governed by outer noise. Do you feel the difference? One voice reaches, the other rests. One voice stands outside, the other speaks from within. One voice treats the other treats the desire as natural. This is the art of states. This is the secret of imagination. Imagination does not merely present you with pictures to look upon. Imagination permits you to change where you stand. A picture may still leave you outside, but a state becomes your dwelling. Tonight, I do not want you merely to watch a picture of your desire. I want you to enter the state that would be yours if the desire were already fulfilled. Ask yourself gently, not with effort, but with quiet curiosity. If everything I wanted were already naturally mine, where would I stand within myself? How would I breathe? What would I stop fearing? What would I stop asking? What would no longer feel far? What would be ordinary? What would be the tone of my inner speech? What would my body know? The answer to these questions brings you toward the state. The state may not come as a bright vision. It may not come with dramatic pictures. It may come as relief. It may come as calm. It may come as a small inward certainty. It may come as the absence of strain. It may come as the feeling that the thing desired is no longer strange to you. It may come as the quiet thought, of course, this belongs. Do not despise that quietness. The fulfilled state is often quiet. It is the old lack that is noisy. It is fear that shouts. It is chasing that runs. It is doubt that argues. Fulfillment often enters as a calm, natural note. The one who has does not need to shout that he has. The one who is loved does not need to persuade love every moment. The one who is guided does not need to tremble before every road. The one who is established does not need to prove his place in the night. The fulfilled state is simple because it is home. Thinking from the desire makes it feel like home. That is one of the great signs. When you think of it, it may feel like a dream across the water. When you think from it, it feels like the shore beneath your feet. When you think of it, you may say, how wonderful it would be. When you think from it, you say, this is where I am. When you think of it, you may feel longing. When you think from it, you feel natural possession. When you think of it, you may feel time. When you think from it, you feel now. Now is the language of the state, not someday, now. Not after the world changes, now. Not when someone approves, now. Not when the senses agree, now. Now I enter the state, now I think from it, now I let it feel natural. Now I sleep as the one who already has it. Do not confuse this with pretending in the childish sense. Pretending is often done with the knowledge that it is false. Assumption is different. Assumption is the spiritual act of occupying a state until it takes on reality within you. You are not saying empty words while believing the opposite. You are moving your center of consciousness. You are taking your place in imagination. You are choosing where I am shall dwell before sleep. I am poor is a state. I am wealthy is a state. I am unwanted is a state. I am loved is a state. I am sick is a state. I am well is a state. I am lost is a state. I am guided is a state. I am failing is a state. I am established is a state. The words themselves are not magic, apart from the consciousness wearing them, but when I am is joined to a state and accepted as true, that state begins to clothe itself. The whole world moves according to the state. Man occupies, though he may not understand how. He thinks he is meeting life as it is, but he is often meeting the state he has accepted. Tonight, be careful what you call yourself. Do not call yourself waiting. Do not call yourself lacking. Do not call yourself forgotten. Do not call yourself rejected. Do not call yourself failing. Do not call yourself outside. Do not call yourself behind. These names are states. If you sleep in them, you wear them into the deep. Call yourself provided for. Call yourself loved. Call yourself guided. Call yourself free. Call yourself established. Call yourself healthy. Call yourself chosen. Call yourself the one to whom fulfillment comes naturally, not as vain noise, but as an inward garment. Put it on quietly. Wear it softly. Let it fit the body. Let it become natural enough for sleep. The state is not far from you. You do not travel to it by time. You enter it by assumption. A poor man may enter the state of wealth in imagination before the purse changes. A lonely man may enter the state of love before the letter comes. A sick man may enter the state of health before the body has fully conformed. A troubled man may enter peace before the circumstance has ended. This is not denial of life. It is the beginning of new life. The senses may say, but the purse is still small. Imagination says, enter provision. The senses may say, but the room is still empty. Imagination says, enter love. The senses may say, but the body still remembers limitation. Imagination says, enter vitality. The senses may say, but the door. Imagination says, enter freedom. The senses may say, but no answer has appeared. Imagination says, enter the answered state. This is the work before sleep, not to battle the senses, not to argue with yesterday, not to force tomorrow, but to enter the state. You may have believed that your desire was a thing waiting for you at the end of a long road. But I tell you, the state of your desire is present now. It is like a room in the great house of consciousness. Many rooms exist. Some are rooms of fear. Some are rooms of poverty. Some are rooms of love. Some are rooms of victory. Some are rooms of peace. Some are rooms of natural fulfillment. Man wanders among these rooms and calls each one my life, while he occupies it. But he can move. You can move tonight. You can leave the room of waiting. You can leave the room of chasing. You can leave the room of lack. You can leave the room of not yet. You can enter the room of fulfillment. You can enter the room of natural receiving. You can enter the room where what you want belongs. And once you enter, do not stand in the doorway. Go in. Let the atmosphere surround you. Let the state become your own. Sit there inwardly. Breathe there. Sleep there. Make it your dwelling. The state is not made real by forcing it. It is made real by occupancy. If you walk into a room and then immediately run out to ask whether you are in it, you have not settled. If you assume the state and then immediately search the senses for proof, you have not rested. Enter and remain, not with strain, but with loyalty. Return gently whenever you wander. If the old state calls, return. If a doubt knocks, return. If a memory rises, return. If the senses deny, return. This return is persistence. But tonight we begin simply. Everything you want exists as a state. Let that be enough. Everything you want exists as a state. I enter the state now. If money is desired, I enter provision. If love is desired, I enter being loved. If health is desired, I enter being loved. If health is desired, I enter vitality. If peace is desired, I enter stillness. If success is desired, I enter establishment. If freedom is desired, I enter release. If a home is desired, I enter dwelling. If an opportunity is desired, if a fulfilled life is desired, I enter natural fulfillment. You do not need to name every detail. The state contains more than the mind can list. The state knows what belongs to it. The state of provision contains the roads of provision. The state of love contains the gestures of love. The state of success contains the recognition and the work. The state of peace contains the release of conflict. The state of health contains the order of vitality. The state of freedom contains the opening of doors. This is why you do not need to force the outer thing. The outer thing is only one way the state clothes itself. Enter the state and the clothing will be provided. Enter the state and the means will arise. Enter the state and the road will form. Enter the state and life will begin to speak the language of that state. The world follows the state you sleep in. Let this become very serious and very comforting at once. The world follows the state you sleep in. If you sleep in fear, you plant fear. If you sleep in waiting, you plant waiting. If you sleep in being unwanted, you plant rejection. If you sleep in lack, you plant more evidence of lack. But if you sleep in the state where everything you want comes naturally, you plant natural fulfillment. You plant receiving. You plant inner possession. You plant the bridge that belongs to the fulfilled self. The bed then is not merely a place where the body rests. It is an altar of assumption. It is the place where the final state of the day is offered to the deep. Do not offer the old state tonight. Do not offer lack. Do not offer chasing. Do not offer 1,000 worried thoughts about the outer thing. Offer the state. Offer provision. Offer love. Offer peace. Offer health. Offer success. Offer freedom. Offer the answered life. Offer natural fulfillment. Let the body become still, and let the state become more real than the problem. Let the senses dim, and let imagination become the lamp. Let the old facts stand where they stand, but withdraw from them your final allegiance. You are not betraying reason. You are putting reason in its proper place. Reason describes the visible road. Imagination selects the destination and stands there before the road appears. Thinking of the destination says, I hope I arrive. Thinking from the destination says, I am here. Tonight say, I am here. Not to the outer world, to the deep. I am here in provision. I am here in love. I am here in peace. I am here in health. I am here in success. I am here in freedom. I am here in natural fulfillment. This is the voice of one who thinks from the desire. It is not loud. It is not anxious. It does not need applause. It does not require immediate confidence. And location is everything. Where are you standing in consciousness? Are you standing in the problem or the answer? Are you standing in absence or fulfillment? Are you standing in distance or possession? Are you standing outside or inside? Are you standing as one who wants or as one who is? Choose the place, then sleep there. If you stand in the state of having money, your thoughts about money change. They become less desperate, less fearful, less worshipful. Provision becomes expected. The mind no longer circles only around lack. It begins to see means, openings, ideas, and ease. This is not because you forced the world, it is because you moved state. If you stand in the state of being loved, your thoughts about love change. You no longer beg in imagination. You no longer make another person the source of your existence. You feel chosen within. You feel received within. You feel the warmth of belonging within. The outer world must answer in its own way, because the state has changed. If you stand in the state of health, your thoughts about the body change. You no longer worship symptoms as master. You no longer make fear the atmosphere of the flesh. You begin to feel life, order, ease, and recovery as natural. The body hears the state more deeply than it hears panic. If you stand in the state of success, your thoughts about work, talent, opportunity, and recognition change. You no longer sleep in smallness. You no longer rehearse being unseen. You no longer call yourself behind. You feel established. You feel placed. You feel your contribution accepted. If you stand in the state of guidance, your thoughts about the road change. You do not fear every turning. You do not curse every delay. You do not demand that the bridge be revealed before you rest. You know that the state contains the way. This is the quiet revolution of states. Nothing may seem to have moved outwardly in the first moment, and yet everything has begun to move because you have moved inwardly. The old man asks, "What changed?" The awakened one answers, "My state changed." And when the state changes, the future is no longer fed by the same cause. Do not underestimate a change of state before sleep. It is not small, it is the beginning of a new order. It is the planting of a new seed. It is the assumption entering the deep. It is I am putting on a new garment. It is the fulfilled life being accepted as inward reality. Now softly, let us gather all desire into one deeper state. You may not need to separate money, love, health, peace, success, freedom, and the answer. They may all be embraced by one great state, the state where everything you want comes naturally. In that state, provision is natural, love is natural, peace is natural, health is natural, fulfillment is natural. This is a broad state, a rich state, a generous state. It does not strain over each detail. It knows that good belongs. It knows that desire is not far. It knows that life responds to consciousness. It knows that the bridge forms from assumption. It knows that the world follows the state. Enter that state now. I am the one to whom it comes naturally. Let this be the doorway. I am the one to whom it comes naturally. Let this be the doorway. I am the one to whom it comes naturally. Let this be the identity. What I want is not outside me as a distant object. It exists as a state I can enter. I enter provision. I enter love. I enter peace. I enter health. I enter success. I enter freedom. I enter guidance. I enter the answered life. I enter natural fulfillment. I do not chase the outer thing. I occupy the inner state. Now let the body begin to agree. The breath does not need to hurry toward it. The hands do not need to grasp. The jaw does not need to argue. The forehead does not need to strain. The heart does not need to beg. The whole body can begin to feel what the fulfilled state feels like. The one who has money does not feel desperate for money. Let the desperation soften. The one who is loved does not beg to be chosen. Let the begging soften. The one who is healthy does not worship illness. Let the fear soften. The one who is successful does not sleep in failure. Let the failure soften. The one who is guided does not fear every road. Let the fear of the road soften. You are learning to sleep from another place, not from need, from fulfillment, not from lack, from possession, not from the old report, from the new state, not from wishing, from being. The state is the true possession. If you possess the outer object, but remain in the old state, you will fear. If you possess the state, the outer object becomes natural and secure in consciousness. If you receive love, but remain in the state of rejection, you will doubt love. If you receive money, but remain in the state of poverty, you will fear lack. If you receive success, but remain in the state of failure, you will feel unworthy. Therefore, possess the state first. The state is the true possession. Outer possession without inner state is unstable. Inner possession becomes outer expression. This is why the wise man does not wait for the world to give him himself. He assumes himself. He enters the state. He becomes inwardly what he desires to be. Then life, obedient to the invisible, rearranges its visible forms. So tonight, take possession where possession begins. Take possession in consciousness. Take possession in imagination. Take possession in I am. Take possession before sleep. Let the outer thing rest. It will come by the bridge belonging to the state. It will follow. Let the desire rest. It is no longer a stranger. Let the body rest. It no longer needs to chase. Let the mind rest. It no longer needs to force. Everything you want exists as a state. The state is here. The state can be entered. The state can be worn. The state can be slept in. And what is slept in becomes natural. Now as you approach sleep, think from the state. Think from being provided for. Think from being loved. Think from being well. Think from being successful. Think from being free. Think from being guided. Think from the fulfilled life. Do not look at these things from a distance. Let them be the place from which you look. From provision, tomorrow looks different. From love, silence looks different. From health, the body looks different. From peace, circumstance looks different. From success, opportunity looks different. From freedom, delay looks different. From guidance, the road looks different. From fulfillment, life looks different. And this is why the world follows the state. It is not merely that events change. Your whole relationship to life changes. What you notice changes. What you expect changes. What you accept changes. What you refuse changes. What you become available to changes. The state becomes the eye through which the world is seen, and the world begins to correspond to that eye. If you would change the world, change the state from which the world is seen. Do not beg the mirror. Do not fight the shadow. Do not chase the echo. Enter the state. The mirror must reflect. The shadow must follow. The echo must answer. The state is the true possession. The world follows the state. Let these words settle now. Let them not remain ideas only. Let them become the resting place of the night. You are not far from your desire if you can enter its state. You are not outside your desire if you can think from it. You are not waiting for life to create your identity. You are choosing identity in imagination, and life must bear witness. Everything you want exists as a state. I enter the state. Everything I desire has its home in consciousness. I enter the state. The desire is not distant. I enter the state. It is natural now. I enter the state. The state is the true possession, and the world follows the state. Again softer. The state is the true possession. The world follows the state. And tonight you sleep in the state. Now, my friend, let us define more carefully the state into which you are entering tonight. For this is not merely the state of having one little thing, one isolated desire, one separate answer, one single event that appears and then leaves you unchanged. This is greater than that. This is the state of being the kind of person to whom good things come naturally. There is such a state. There is a state in which provision feels natural. There is a state in which love feels natural. There is a state in which help feels natural. There is a state in which opportunity feels natural. There is a state in which peace feels natural. There is a state in which the right road feels natural. There is a state in which life does not feel like a locked door, but like a house in which you are welcome. This is the state I want you to know tonight. Not a state of excitement that soon exhausts itself. Not a state of desperate hope that still trembles before appearances. Not a state of violent affirmation that shouts because it secretly doubts, but a calm, deep, natural state, a state so quiet that the old mind may overlook it, because the old mind is accustomed to noise. Yet this quiet state is powerful because it says without strain, this belongs to me. This is natural to me. This is the way my life. Let this phrase be very gentle. It is natural now, not forced, not distant, not strange, not too high, not too much, natural. When a thing is natural to you, you do not beg for it. You do not stand before it as an outsider. You do not wonder whether you have permission to touch it. You do not exhaust yourself trying to persuade it to come near. You do not hold your breath, fearing it will vanish if you look away. What is natural to you is it has a place. It does not startle you. And so tonight, you are not trying to be surprised by fulfillment. You are learning to be accustomed to it. This is a very important distinction. Many imagine their desire as something astonishing, something unbelievable, something so far beyond them that even in imagination they stand before it with wonder and fear. They say, if only this could happen, how incredible it would be. But hidden in that feeling is distance. Hidden in that amazement is the confession that the desire is not yet natural. It is still something extraordinary, something outside the normal order of their identity. But the fulfilled state does not forever stand in amazement. It settles. It becomes home. It becomes the way things are. A man who lives in a house may love the house, but he does not gasp each time he touches the door. A woman who wears a ring may treasure it, but she does not tremble every moment as if it belongs to someone else. A man who is accustomed to being provided for may be grateful, but he does not sleep in terror that provision is unnatural. Fulfillment, once accepted, becomes familiar. This familiarity is not indifference. It is possession. It is natural now. You must allow fulfillment to become familiar within you. Let good news become familiar. Let being chosen become Let being supported become familiar. Let receiving become familiar. Let peace become familiar. Let prosperity become familiar. Let the open door become familiar. Let the desired life become familiar. For if it remains too strange, too sacred in the wrong way, too distant, too elevated above your identity, then you continue to worship it as something apart from you. But the law asks you to enter. It asks you to wear the state. It asks you to become the one for whom the desired thing is not a miracle from outside, but an expression of inward being. The state where it comes naturally is calm. It is not dull. It is not dead. It is not without feeling. But it is calm because it is not fighting for entrance. It is calm because it is no longer divided against itself. It is calm because the inner man has stopped saying, "Can this be mine?" and has begun to say, "This is the state I occupy." Calm is often the first fragrance of acceptance. A calm man is not necessarily without desire. He may desire deeply, but he has ceased to desire from panic. He has entered the atmosphere of fulfillment. He has stopped pulling the desire toward himself with fear and has begun to live from the place where it belongs. This calm is not weakness, it is authority. It is the authority of one who knows that the world follows state. The state where it comes naturally is provided for. This does not mean that the outer world must already show every coin, every meal, every garment, every arrangement, every answer in visible form before you rest. It means that inwardly you cease to identify with being unsupported. You cease to sleep as one abandoned by life. You cease to say in the secret places of consciousness, "There is not enough, there will not be enough. I must struggle for every crumb." You enter the state of being supplied. Provided for is a feeling before, it is a fact. It is a quiet relation to life. It says, means appear, doors open, help comes, the way forms. I am not outside the care of God. In this state, you are not stretched thin by fear. You are not bargaining with tomorrow. You are not making lack your final name before sleep. You are provided for in consciousness, and what is accepted in consciousness seeks its form. The state where it comes naturally is not chosen in vanity, not chosen above others in pride, but chosen in the sense of belonging. You do not feel cast outside the feast. You do not feel forgotten in the order of life. You do not feel that good passes over you and finds everyone else. You feel inwardly selected by your own assumption. You feel that what is lovely, meaningful, and desired has a place for you. The one who feels chosen does not beg to be noticed. He does not sleep as one rejected. He does not interpret every delay as proof of unworthiness. He carries the quiet knowledge, I belong to the state I desire. And because he belongs inwardly, The outer world must find ways to include him. The state where it comes naturally is guided. This is a blessed state. The guided one does not need to see the whole road before he rests. He does not need to know every turn. He does not panic because the bridge is not visible from beginning to end. He knows that the state contains the way. He trusts that the right thought, the right impulse, the right word, the right meeting, the right delay, and the right action can arise from the state accepted. The guided one does not fear every road. He may not know tomorrow's steps tonight, and yet he rests. He may not know the instrument by which the desire will appear, and yet he rests. He may not know the hour, and yet he rests. For his trust is not in calculation. He knows that when I am is clothed in fulfillment, life begins to move him along the necessary path. The state where it comes naturally is safe. Many say they want fulfillment, yet the body does not feel safe to receive it. The body is accustomed to struggle. The mind is accustomed to disappointment. The heart is accustomed to guarding itself. And so the desire, when imagined, may feel almost too bright, too vulnerable, too dangerous to accept. But tonight you must teach the body that fulfillment is safe. It is safe to receive. It is safe to be loved. It is safe to be provided for. It is safe to succeed. It is safe to rest. It is safe for things to come naturally. It is safe to stop chasing. This safety is part of the state. If the desire is imagined with fear, the state is not yet fully accepted. If receiving feels dangerous, you will unconsciously resist the very thing you seek. There, let the body know that the fulfilled state is not a threat. It is home. It is not something that will punish you. It is something that belongs to the true arrangement of consciousness. The state where it comes naturally is open. Open does not mean careless. It means no longer closed by fear. It means the hands of the inner man are not clenched around old disappointment. It means the heart is not shut because of yesterday. It means the mind is not saying, I desire it, but I do not believe I can receive it. It means the deep self has made room. A closed state cannot receive naturally. It may ask, it may cry, it may repeat words, but inwardly it remains defended against fulfillment. It says, I want it, and at the same time, I do not trust it. It says, come, and at the same time, stay away, for I fear being hurt. The state of natural receiving, it simply ceases to bar it. It is natural now. Let the heart open to this. It is natural now. Let the hands open to this. It is natural now. Let the mind open to this. The state where it comes naturally is unhurried. This may sound strange to the anxious mind, for the anxious mind believes that hurry is proof of importance. It says, if I want it deeply, I must be restless. If it matters, I must be impatient. If I desire it, I must. But hurry often belongs to the state of not having. The fulfilled state is not late. It does not run as though life is escaping. It stands in the end. To be unhurried inwardly does not mean that time is ignored. It means that identity is not controlled by time. The one who has entered the state does not make every hour a judge. He does not say, because it has not appeared by this moment, I am not the one. He remains faithful to the state. He lets the bridge form. He waits when stillness is wise. He acts from the state, not from panic. The state where it comes naturally is quietly certain, not loud certainty, not the kind that argues all night, not the kind that must defeat every doubt by force. Quiet certainty. The certainty that feels almost ordinary. The certainty that says, this is so, without needing to prove it to the room. The certainty of one who has inwardly accepted the state. Quiet certainty is one of the most beautiful signs that the desire is becoming natural. When you no longer need to perform belief, when you no longer need to persuade yourself every moment, when the desire can sit in consciousness without trembling, then it is becoming natural. The mind is no longer treating it as a foreign guest. It is treating it as one who belongs in the house. The state where it comes naturally is not begging. Begging belongs to separation. Begging says, I am outside, and something outside me must decide whether I may enter. Begging gives power away. Begging makes the desire a master and the self a servant. But assumption is not begging. Assumption is entering. Assumption says, I accept the state now. Assumption does not ask the world to make I am true. Assumption joins I am to the fulfilled state and lets the world bear witness. Do not beg before sleep. Enter. Do not plead. Occupy. Do not ask whether life will be merciful. Take mercy as your state. Do not ask whether good. The state where it comes naturally is not forcing. Force is often fear, wearing the garment of effort. It pushes, grasps, tightens, and insists, because it does not believe the state is enough. But the law does not need your force. It needs your acceptance. It needs your imaginal occupancy. It needs the state to be felt as real. Force keeps the desire as something outside that must be dragged inward. Naturalness accepts it inwardly and lets expression unfold. You do not force the picture. You do not force the feeling. You do not force the road. You do not force the person. You do not force the hour. You do not force the bridge. You enter the state. The state where it comes naturally is not proving. Many are inwardly proving all the time, proving they are worthy, proving they are chosen, proving they can have it, proving to the world, to another person, to the past, to their own fear. But the fulfilled state is not busy proving. It rests in the assumption. It does not turn desire into a court where the self must defend its right to exist. You do not need to prove that you deserve your good tonight. Deserving is not the creative principle. State is the creative principle. I am is the creative principle. Assumption is the creative principle. You do not argue yourself into fulfillment. You assume yourself into it. You do not win the right to imagine by suffering enough. You imagine because imagination is your true power. The state is yours to enter. The state where it comes naturally is not waiting anxiously. Waiting anxiously is still a state. It says, not yet. It says, I am outside until something happens. It says, my peace depends on the next sign. But the state of natural fulfillment does not wait in that way. It may allow time to pass, but inwardly it is not waiting. It is living from the end. It is sleeping from the end. It is breathing from the end. It is breathing from the end. There is a difference between allowing the bridge and waiting in lack. Allowing the bridge says, the state is accepted, the world follows. Waiting in lack says, I do not have it, when will it come? Allowing the bridge rests. Waiting in lack measures. Allowing the bridge trusts. Waiting in lack fears. Allowing the bridge is natural. Waiting in lack is distance. Tonight you allow. You do not wait anxiously. The state where it comes naturally is not asking whether you deserve it. This question has imprisoned many. Do I deserve it? Am I worthy? Have I done enough? Am I good enough? Is it allowed for me? But these questions often arise from the old state that still feels outside the desired life. They are not noble questions when they are used to delay possession. They are another doorway back into separation. I tell you, do not ask whether you deserve to enter a state. Enter it. The state itself will teach you a new self. If you remain outside until the old self feels worthy, you may wait forever, because the old self belongs to the old state. The fulfilled self is found by entering the fulfilled state. Become the one in imagination, and the sense of worth follows the state. It is natural now. Let that answer the old question. Do I deserve it? It is natural now. Can this be mine? It is natural now. Am I allowed to receive? It is natural now. Is it too much? It is natural. Could life really open this way for me? It is natural now. Naturalness is a sign of acceptance. Remember this. Naturalness is not dullness. It is not indifference. It is not the absence of love for the desire. It is the absence of distance from it. If the desire feels strange, distant, too high, too impossible, too astonishing, too separate from your identity, you are still standing outside the state. But if it begins to feel normal, familiar, inwardly expected, and quietly yours, then it is becoming accepted. And what is accepted as natural in consciousness begins to seek natural expression in the world. Do not try to make naturalness by force. That would be a contradiction. Let it come through repetition, through gentle dwelling, through returning to the state. What feels strange tonight can feel familiar through occupancy. What feels distant can become near when you think from it. What feels too high can become home when I am is joined to it. The state grows natural as you remain in it. A man may enter a grand house for the first time and feel like a visitor. He may touch nothing. He may speak softly. He may wonder whether he belongs. But if that house is his and he lives there, the rooms become familiar. The chair is no longer too fine for him. The table is no longer strange. The windows become his view. The floor knows his footsteps. The house becomes natural because he occupies it. So with your desire, at first the state may feel new. Enter anyway. At first receiving may feel unfamiliar. Enter anyway. At first being loved may feel tender and strange. Enter anyway. At first wealth may feel too large. Enter anyway. At first peace may feel unusual because the mind is accustomed to conflict. Enter anyway. The state becomes natural through occupancy. Do not stand at the doorway and conclude, this is not mine, because it feels unfamiliar. It feels unfamiliar because you have not lived there. Live there tonight. Sleep there. Let the fulfilled state know your presence. Let the body learn its rooms. Let the mind learn its atmosphere. Let the heart learn that it belongs. It is natural now. Again, it is natural now. Again, softer. It is natural now. This phrase should not be shouted. It should descend. It should move like warm water through the body. It should loosen the old expectation of difficulty. It should soften the belief that everything good must be fought for, delayed, earned through pain, or guarded with fear. It should remind you that the state of receiving can be simple. Let it become natural that money finds its way. Let it become natural that love recognizes you. Let it become natural that peace lives in you. Let it become natural that health is restored. Let it become natural that doors open. Let it become natural that help appears. Let it become natural that guidance comes. Let it become natural that what belongs to your state finds you. It is natural now. You are not begging. You are not forcing. You are not proving. You are not waiting anxiously. You are not asking whether you deserve it. You are entering. This is the pure movement of the night, entering. The mind may wish to complicate it. It may ask for many techniques. It may ask for certainty from the outer world. It may ask for a sign, but the movement remains the same. Enter the state. Let it become natural. Sleep there. The one to whom good comes naturally has a different inner posture. He is not arrogant. He is not careless. He is not asleep in the sense of ignorance. He is awake inwardly to the order of law. He knows that life responds to consciousness. He knows that imagination is the true dwelling place. He knows that what is natural within becomes natural without. He does not bully the world. He does not collapse before it. He stands in the state. Let that be your posture now. Calm, provided for, chosen, guided, safe, open, unhurried, quietly certain. Not begging, not forcing, not proving, not waiting anxiously, not asking whether you deserve it. This is the state. Feel how different it is from chasing. Chasing is tense. This state is calm. Chasing asks. This state knows. Chasing waits outside. This state dwells within. Chasing measures time. This state accepts now. Chasing says, what if? This state says, it is natural now. Let the body come into this state. A calm body, a provided for body, a chosen body, a guided body, a safe body, an open body, an unhurried body, a body that is not waiting anxiously, a body that is no longer asking whether it deserves to receive. Let the shoulders soften into naturalness. Let the breath become unhurried. Let the jaw release the old argument. Let the hands stop proving. Let the chest stop begging. Let the forehead stop asking how. Let the heart stop measuring distance. Let the whole body learn the state where good comes naturally. It is natural now. Let the body say it without words. It is natural now. Let the breath say it. It is natural now. Let the heart say it. It is natural now. Let the deep receive it. You may think, but my desire is specific. I want this person, this sum, this place, this answer, this change. Very well. The state does not deny specificity. It contains it. But if you fix only upon the specific thing while feeling outside it, you remain divided. Enter the larger state in which the specific thing is natural. If the sum is yours, if the love is yours, how would you sleep? If the home is yours, how would you rest? If the answer has come, how would the body release? Find that state. It includes the specific desire without making you a beggar before it. The state where good comes naturally is wide enough to hold every true desire. It is not vague, it is deep. It is the soil in which particular desires take root. It is the atmosphere in which each fulfilled scene becomes believable. It is the identity that makes receiving ordinary. You are becoming that one, the one to whom it comes naturally, not the one who wonders whether life has forgotten them, the one to whom it comes naturally, not the one who must chase every sign, the one to whom it comes naturally, not the one who sleeps in lack, the one to whom it comes naturally, not the one who has to force the bridge, the one to whom it comes naturally. This identity is not created by outer evidence. It is chosen in consciousness. If you wait for the world to prove that you are this one, you have put the cart before the horse. You must be this one inwardly, and the world becomes the road by which it is proven. The proof follows. The state leads. The state leads. Let that comfort you. The state leads. You do not need to drag every event into place tonight. The state leads. You do not need to awaken every person, open every door, prepare every letter, move every circumstance by anxious thought. The state leads. You do not need to become the servant of every possible means. The state leads. Your work is to put on the state, put on calm, put on provision, put on being chosen, put on guidance, put on safety, put on openness, put on unhurried certainty, put on naturalness, put on the identity of one who receives. Do not put on the old garment. Do not put on the garment of I am waiting. Do not put on the garment of I am lacking. Do not put on the garment of I am never chosen. Do not put on the garment of I must force life. Do not put on the garment of I do not deserve it. Those garments have been worn long enough. They do not belong to the fulfilled self. Tonight, put on the state where what you desire is natural. If the desire tries to feel too extraordinary, bring it closer. Let it become normal. If it feels too high above you, bring your state up to meet it. Do not shrink the desire. Expand the state. If it feels impossible, stop looking at it from the old self. Look from the fulfilled self. If it feels too much, remember that the state can include it naturally. The old self calls it too much because the old self does not contain it. The new state contains it. It is natural now. It is natural now. This is how you remain. It is natural now. This is how sleep receives. Begin to feel that good coming to you is not unusual. Begin to feel that being helped is not rare. Begin to feel that being loved is not shocking. Begin to feel that money appearing is not impossible. Begin to feel that health, peace, recognition, and guidance belong to the order of your state. Begin to feel that fulfillment is not an interruption of your life, but the natural expression of your true identity. The world may have taught you to expect difficulty. The old state may have trained the body to brace itself, but you are not bound to continue that training. You can train yourself into naturalness. You can revise the inner expectation. You can sleep as one for whom good is normal. And if you sleep as one for whom good is normal, you plant a very different world. It is natural now. Let the phrase become wider than one desire. It is natural now. Let it cover your life. It is natural now. Let it touch money. It is natural now. Let it touch love. It is natural now. Let it touch health. It is natural now. Let it touch peace. It is natural now. Let it touch success. It is natural now. Let it touch freedom. It is natural now. Let it touch the unknown road, the state where it comes natural. The old state wants to know every step before it rests. The natural state rests and lets the steps appear. The old state asks, what if there is no way? The natural state says, the way belongs to the state. The old state asks, what if I am forgotten? The natural state says, I am chosen. The old state asks, what if I am not enough? The natural state says, I am the one now. This is not a sentence only. It is a place. I am the one who is provided for, the one who is chosen, the one who is guided, the one who is safe, the one who is open, the one who is unhurried, the one who is quietly certain, the one to whom it comes naturally. Remain there. Do not make this heavy. The fulfilled state is not a burden to carry. It is a bed to rest in. Let it hold you. Let it become softer. Let it become less like a task and more like a room. Let the room become familiar. Let the air say, this is natural. Let the floor say, stand here. Let the bed say, sleep here. Let the state say, I am yours. It is natural now. You are putting on the state. It is natural now. You are letting it fit. It is natural now. You are becoming accustomed to receiving. It is natural now. You are no longer surprised by your good. That is a beautiful thing, to be no longer surprised by your good. Grateful, yes. Tender, yes. Joy, but not shocked as though life has done something impossible. Good comes naturally to the state that accepts good. Love comes naturally to the state that accepts provision. Peace comes naturally to the state that accepts provision. Peace comes naturally to the state that accepts peace. The bridge comes naturally to the state that accepts the end. Let this acceptance be quiet. The desire is not too great. The desire is not too far. The desire is not too strange. The desire is not beyond consciousness. It exists as a state. And the state is being put on now, like a garment, like a robe of the inner man, like the feeling of a life already entered. Tonight, you put on the state where what you desire no longer feels extraordinary, but natural. You put on calm. You put on being provided for. You put on being chosen. You put on being guided. You put on safety. You put on openness. You put on unhurried certainty. You put on the state where the desire belongs. And as you wear this state into sleep, the desire is no longer held as something far away. It is held as something inwardly normal. It is no longer worshipped from a distance. It is accepted as part of who you are. It is no longer chaste. It is occupied. It is natural now. Again, it is natural now. Again, deeper. It is natural now. And tonight you put on the state where what you desire no longer feels extraordinary. But now, my friend, we come to the sacred center of the whole matter. We come to the name you are always using, whether you know it or not. We come to the name that is not merely a sound, not merely a phrase, not merely a little statement spoken in passing. We come to I am. Before any desire can feel natural, you must look at what you have joined to I am. For man is always wearing an identity. He may not notice it. He may call it his mood, his character, his circumstance, his history, his nature, his fate. But beneath all of these, he is saying something with I am. And what he joins to I am, if he accepts it as true, becomes a state he wears. You may have joined I am to waiting. I am waiting. You may have joined I am to effort without fulfillment. I am trying. You may have joined I am to misfortune. I am unlucky. You may have joined I am to rejection. I am always behind. You may have joined I am to struggle. I am struggling. You may have joined I am to distance. I am close, but not there. These may appear to be innocent descriptions, but they are not innocent when accepted as identity. They are not merely passing words. They are states being worn. And man wearing the state then meets a world that appears to confirm it. If you say, I am waiting, and you feel yourself to be waiting, you do not merely describe a delay. You enter the state of waiting. You look from waiting. You breathe from waiting. You sleep from waiting. And the world, being the mirror of state, seems to give you more reasons to wait. If you say, I am trying, and the feeling beneath it is strain, incompletion, and not yet, then trying becomes your garment. You may work, speak, pray, imagine, and repeat many words. But if the deep feeling is still, I am trying, then the state is not possession. It is effort seeking. If you say, I am unlucky, you have clothed yourself in a world where good must seem irregular, rare, or difficult. You may not use the word openly. You may not even admit that you believe it. But if inwardly you expect doors to close, help to pass by, answers to delay, and others to be favored while you are overlooked, then I am has been joined to a state that produces that kind of life. If you say, I am not chosen, the world begins to look like a feast to which you were not invited. Love seems uncertain. Opportunity seems elsewhere. The heart watches others receive and secretly asks, why not me? But this is not truth. It is a state, and because it is a state, it can be removed. If you say, I am always behind, then time becomes an enemy. Every day becomes proof that you are late. Every success of another becomes a witness against you. Every delay becomes personal. You do not merely experience time. You wear the state of being behind. And then, even when opportunities come, you may meet them with the old identity of one who is not yet where he ought to be. If you say, I am struggling, and you accept struggle as your nature, then even simple roads may feel heavy. Receiving may feel difficult. Good may feel like something earned only through exhaustion. Rest may feel unsafe. Ease may feel suspicious. This is not because ease is impossible. It is because I am has been married to struggle. If you say, I am close but not there, then you have made nearness another form of distance. This is a subtle state. It says, I can almost feel it. I can almost receive it. I can almost believe. I can almost enter. But almost is not possession. Almost keeps you at the threshold. It lets you see the door, but not sleep in the room. Tonight, I ask you to notice these old names without fear and without shame. You are not here to condemn yourself for wearing them. Man wears many garments before he learns he is not the garment. You may have worn waiting because the world seemed slow. You may have worn struggle because life appeared hard. You may have worn rejection because someone did not see you rightly. You may have worn lack because the senses reported emptiness. You may have worn not yet because you did not know you could enter the state now, but you know now. You are not the old garment. You are the one who can remove it. I am is pure consciousness before it is clothed. I am is the awareness of being. It is the living center. And the moment you say, I am this, and accept it, you have placed a garment upon the invisible. You have taken a state and called it yourself. But no state is final unless you continue to wear it. No garment is your eternal skin. You may take off the garment of lack and put on the garment of fulfillment. You may take off waiting and put on natural possession. You may take off struggle and put on receiving. This is the work tonight. Not to beg, not to chase, not to force, but to join I am to natural fulfillment. I am the one to whom it comes naturally. Let this be heard first as a possibility. I am the one to whom it comes naturally. Let it come nearer. I am the one to whom it comes naturally. Let the body begin to recognize a new name. This is not a slogan. I do not give you slogans. I give you garments of consciousness. If you merely repeat words while still wearing the old state, they are like fine robes laid over chains. But if you enter the meaning, if you feel the identity, if you let the phrase become where you stand, then it is no longer a sentence. It is a state. I am the one to whom it comes naturally. Not because I have forced the world, because I have changed the state. I am the one to whom it comes naturally. Not because the senses have already praised me, because I have entered the fulfilled identity. I am the one to whom it comes naturally, not someday, now in consciousness. The old state said, I am waiting. The new state says, I am the one to whom it comes naturally. The old state said, I am trying. The new state says, I am the one who receives. The old state said, I am unlucky. The new state says, I am the one who is provided for. The old state said, I am not chosen. The new state says, I am the one who is chosen. The old state said, I am always behind. The new state says, I am the one who is guided into perfect timing. The old state said, I am struggling. The new state says, I am the one for whom the way opens. The old state said, I am close but not there. The new state says, I am not outside my desire. I am in the state of fulfillment. Do not hurry through these names. They are not decoration. They are not pleasant phrases placed upon the surface of the mind. They are the very garments you will carry into sleep. And sleep will not ask what you intended vaguely. Sleep will receive what you accept as self. So let us put on the new garments slowly. I am the one who receives. This is very different from I am the one trying to receive. It is different from I am the one hoping to receive. It is different from I am the one wondering whether I may receive. I am the one who receives. This means receiving belongs to my identity. It is not foreign. It is not suspicious. It is not too much. It is not something that happens only to others. I receive because I am in the state that receives. I am the one who is chosen. This does not mean chosen in arrogance. It means chosen as one who belongs, chosen by the state, chosen by assumption, chosen by the inner decree of I am. I do not wait for the world to convince me I am included. I enter the state of being included, and the world reflects inclusion. I do not sleep as one overlooked. I sleep as one accepted. I am the one who is provided for. Let this touch the old fear of lack. I am provided for. The means may be unseen tonight, but the state is not unseen to consciousness. I am provided for. I do not need to sleep as one abandoned by supply. I am in the state of provision. Means come, roads open, help appears. I am provided for. I am the one who is guided. Let this calm the need to know every step. I am guided. I may not know the full bridge, but the bridge belongs to the state. I may not know the hour, but the hour belongs to the state. I may not know the instrument, but the instrument belongs to the state. I am guided. The right thought will come. The right word will come. The right stillness will come. I am guided. I am the one whose desire finds its way. Do not try to force the way tonight. The desire has a way when it is accepted as state. The seed knows the tree. The state knows the bridge. I am the one whose desire finds its way. It may come through a road I did not expect. It may come through a person I did not imagine. It may come through a delay I once misunderstood. It may come through a quiet idea, a letter, a meeting, a change of heart, a forgotten possibility. I need not command every stone of the bridge. I am the one whose desire finds its way. I am not outside my desire. Let that be clear. I am not outside my desire. I am not standing at the gate. I am not begging at the threshold. I am not looking through the window as though the house belongs to another. I am not an exile from my own fulfillment. I am in the state. This is the new identity. Not outside. Within. Not waiting. Being, not chasing. Occupying. Not trying to become. Being now in consciousness. I am in the state of fulfillment. Let the body listen to this. For the old I am may live in the body as tension. I am waiting may live in the shoulders. I am trying may live in the jaw. I am unlucky may live in the chest. I am not chosen may live in the heart. I am close but not there may live as restlessness in the whole body. Let the body remove those names. Shoulders, you are not waiting. Breath, you are not trying. Jaw, you are not arguing for your right to receive. Chest, you are not unlucky. Heart, you are not unchosen. Hands, you are not struggling. Body, you are not outside the desire. You are learning a new I am. I am the one to whom it comes naturally. I am the one who is chosen. Let the heart quiet. I am the one who is provided for. Let the chest release. I am the one who is guided. Let the forehead smooth. I am the one whose desire finds its way. Let the hands rest. I am in the state of fulfillment. Let the whole body receive. This is not imagination used as escape. This is imagination used as identity. Most men use imagination unconsciously to continue what they dislike. They imagine failure and they imagine rejection and call it caution. They imagine lack and call it realism. They imagine delay and call it wisdom. Then they say imagination is powerless. But they have been using it all along to clothe I am in limitation. Tonight, you use imagination consciously. You choose the garment, you choose the name, you choose the state, and you carry it into sleep. The old identity may protest. It may say, but I have waited so long. You answer, I am is no longer joined to waiting. It may say, but I have tried so hard. You answer, I am is no longer joined to trying. It may say, but I have failed before. You answer, I am is no longer joined to failure. It may say, but I have not been chosen. You answer, I am is now joined to being chosen. It may say, but I am always behind. You answer, I am is now joined to perfect guidance. It may say, but I am struggling. You answer, do not debate the old state for long. The old state loves long debates because debate keeps it alive. Give the answer and return to the new identity. I am the one to whom it comes naturally. Return. I am the one who receives. Return. I am the one who is chosen. Return. I am the one who is provided for. Return. I am the one who is guided. Return. I am the one whose desire finds its way. Return. The words I am are like a door. What you place after them is the room you enter. If you say I am lost, you enter the room of confusion. If you say I am guided and accepted, you enter the room of guidance. If you say I am poor, you enter the room of lack. If you say I am poor for and accept it, you enter the room of provision. If you say I am rejected, you enter the room of rejection. If you say I am chosen and accept it, you enter the room of belonging. Tonight, choose the room. Do not sleep in the room of waiting. Do not sleep in the room of trying. Do not sleep in the room of misfortune. Do not sleep in the room of rejection. Do not sleep in the room of being behind. Do not sleep in the room of struggle. Do not sleep in the room of almost. Sleep in the room of natural fulfillment. Enter that room now. Let it have the quiet order of provision. Let it have the stillness of guidance. Let it have the open door of receiving. Let it have the bed of rest. This is the room where I am is no longer exiled from desire. This is the room where I am is joined to fulfillment. I am is the creative center. It is not a weak little phrase. It is the beginning of every world you enter. Men think they are describing themselves when they say, I am this, or They are placing themselves in a state, and then they live among the expressions of that state. If only they knew what they were doing, they would become silent before saying anything unlovely of themselves. Do not say, I am waiting, and then wonder why waiting continues. Do not say, I am unlucky, and then wonder why life seems to pass you by. Do not say, I am struggling, and then wonder why everything feels heavy. Do not say, I am not chosen, and then wonder why you feel outside the feast. Do not say, I am almost there, and then wonder why you remain at the threshold. Withdraw I am from these states. Withdraw it gently. Withdraw it tonight. You do not need to hate the old state. You need only stop calling it yourself. A garment may be old, familiar, and worn many times, but if it no longer belongs to the one you choose to be, you remove it. Waiting may be familiar, but it is not your true name. Struggle may be familiar, but it is not your true name. Rejection may be familiar, but it is not your true name. Almost may be familiar, but it is not your true name. Your true power is not in the garment. Your true power is in the one who wears and removes. I am can be clothed anew. I am can be joined to receiving. I am can be joined to provision. I am, I am can be joined to freedom. I am can be joined to natural fulfillment. Let this not be rushed. The old identity may have been repeated for years, but the moment you see it as a state, it begins to lose its tyranny. A thing believed to be self-imprisons. A thing seen as a state can be left. If you believe, I am unlucky, you suffer beneath an imaginary fate. But if you see, I have been wearing the state called unlucky, you are not fixed in the old state. You are not condemned to the old name. You are not bound to the old I am. You may say now, with inward authority, I am the one to whom it comes naturally. This is not a wish, it is a name. I am the one who receives. This is not a hope, it is a garment. I am the one who is chosen. This is not begging, it is identity. I am the one who is provided for. This I am the one whose desire finds its way. This is not force, it is law. I am in the state of fulfillment. This is not someday, it is now in consciousness. Let the old self listen. Let it realize it is no longer being fed. The one who waits is not being fed tonight. The one who tries without entering is not being fed tonight. The one who calls himself unlucky is not being fed tonight. The one who says, I am not the one who says, I am always behind is not being fed tonight. The one who struggles as identity is not being fed tonight. The one who is close but never arrives is not being fed tonight. A new self is being fed. The receiver, the chosen one, the provided one, the guided one, the one for whom the desire finds its way, the one who is not outside the desire, the one in the state of fulfillment. This is the self that enters. Do not say, one day I will become that one. That returns you to waiting. I ask you to enter now. You enter by assumption. You enter by feeling. You enter by accepting the name inwardly. You enter by letting the body soften into the new identity. You enter by returning whenever the old name calls. I am the one now. That is the great movement. I am the one now, not after proof. I am the one now. The bridge appears because I become the one. The world changes because I become the one. Proof comes because I become the one. The desire finds its way because I become the one. Now take the phrase into the inner ear. I am the one to whom it comes naturally. Hear it as though spoken by your own deeper self. I am the one to whom it comes naturally. Hear it calmly. I am the one to whom it comes naturally. Hear it with no need to shout. I am the one to... Now feel what happens if it is true. Do not strain. Simply notice. If it is true, the body does not need to chase. If it is true, the breath does not need to hurry. If it is true, the mind does not need to inspect every sign. If it is true, the heart does not need to beg. If it is true, sleep is safe. If it is true, receiving is natural. Let the body take the truth of it. It comes naturally. The good comes naturally. The help comes naturally. The opportunity comes naturally. The love comes naturally. The provision comes naturally. The peace comes naturally. The bridge comes naturally. Because I am the one to whom it comes naturally. This identity should become less like a phrase and more like a dwelling place. At first you may repeat it. Then you begin to feel it. Then you begin to rest in it. Then you begin to think from it. Then it becomes the place from which sleep receives you. And when sleep receives you in a state, that state sinks below the surface mind and begins its hidden work. You do not need to force it into the deep. You wear it, and sleep carries it. You do not need to argue it into being. You accept it, and sleep seals it. You do not need to prove it tonight. You assume it, and the world will be compelled to prove it in time. I am the one to whom it comes naturally. What does the world look like from this state? It looks like a field of movement. It no longer looks like a locked house. It looks like a place where doors may open. It no longer looks like a judge withholding your good. It looks like a mirror waiting to reflect the state. It no longer looks like an enemy. It looks like substance ready to take form. What does desire feel like from this state? It does not feel far. It does not feel like a God outside you. It does not feel like a torment. It feels like something belongs. It feels warm, near, expected, normal. It feels natural. It is natural now because I am has been joined to it. I am provided for. I am chosen. I am guided. I am open to receive. I am safe in fulfillment. I am no longer waiting outside. I am in the state. I am the one to whom it comes naturally. Let these be garments, not slogans. A slogan is repeated from the outside. A garment, feel how I am provided for, differs from I am afraid. Feel how I am chosen, differs from I am not wanted. Feel how I am guided, differs from I do not know what to do. Feel how I am the one to whom it comes naturally, differs from I must chase. This is why I do not ask you to merely repeat words without entering them. Words are vessels. The state is the wine. If the vessel is empty, it does little. But if the word carries feeling, if the phrase carries identity, if the name is accepted, then it becomes alive in you. Let the words become alive. I am the one to whom it comes naturally. Let provision become alive. I am the one who is provided for. Let being chosen become alive. I am the one who is chosen. Let guidance become alive. I am the one who is guided. Let receiving become alive. I am the one who receives. Let the desire, let fulfillment become alive. I am in the state of fulfillment. Now you may rest from the old question of deserving. The old state asks, do I deserve to say I am this? But I am does not wait for permission from the old state. The old state will never authorize the new man. The new man is born by assumption. You do not ask poverty whether you may enter provision. You do not ask rejection whether you may enter love. You do not ask failure whether you may. You do not ask fear whether you may enter peace. You enter. I am is the door. Assumption is the entering. Sleep is the ceiling. So enter, I am the one who receives. Enter, I am the one who is chosen. Enter, I am the one who is provided for. Enter, I am the one who is guided. Enter, I am the one to whom it comes naturally. Enter, there is a majesty. Memory may have named you another. Other men may have spoken names over you that were unlovely. But none of these are final unless you accept them. Tonight, you take back the right to name yourself in consciousness. Do not be named by delay. Do not be named by lack. Do not be named by rejection. Do not be named by struggle. Do not be named by yesterday. Do not be named by appearances. Be named by the fulfilled state. I am the one to whom it. I am the one who receives. This is the name. I am the one who is chosen. This is the name. I am the one who is provided for. This is the name. I am the one who is guided. This is the name. I am the one whose desire finds its way. This is the name. I am in the state of fulfillment. This is the name. As you accept this name, the old world may not immediately vanish from memory, but its authority begins to weaken. The old identity may appear, but it is no longer the bed in which you sleep. The old story may knock, but you do not open the door. You remain clothed in the new garment. And if you wander, return. If you hear within, I am waiting, return. I am the one to whom it comes naturally. If you hear, I am trying, return. I am the one who receives. If you hear, I am unlucky, return. I am the one who is chosen. If you hear, I am always behind, return. I am the one who is guided. If you hear, I am struggling, return. I am the one whose desire finds its way. If you hear, I am close but not there, return. I am not outside my desire. I am in the state of fulfillment. This returning is gentle persistence. It is how the new state becomes natural. You do not beat the old. You take it off and put on another. If it slips back, remove it again, calmly, faithfully, without despair. Now let the new identity become simple enough for sleep. I am receiving. I am chosen. I am provided for. I am guided. I am fulfilled. I am the one to whom it comes naturally. Again softer. I am receiving. I am chosen. I am provided for. I am fulfilled. I am the one to whom it comes naturally. Do not let the mind turn this into labor. Let it become an atmosphere. If pictures come, let them come. If only feeling comes, let feeling be enough. If the body releases, let the body receive. If sleep comes, let sleep come. The purpose is not to stay awake proving identity. The purpose is to enter identity and let sleep carry it into the deep. I am must be joined to what is natural. I am must be joined to receiving. I am must be joined to the state where everything wanted comes naturally. You have perhaps joined it long enough to lesser names, not deliberately perhaps, not because you wish to suffer, but unconsciously, by habit, by fear, by memory, by repetition. Tonight, the joining changes. The words I am are withdrawn from waiting. They are withdrawn from trying. They are withdrawn from being behind. They are withdrawn from struggle. They are withdrawn from almost, and they are joined to fulfillment. I am the one now. I am in the state now. I am receiving now. I am guided now. I am provided for now. I am chosen now. I am the one to whom it comes naturally now. Let the now be inward. Let it be real in consciousness. Do not demand that the senses announce it before sleep. Sleep does not. Sleep needs the state to be accepted. And as it is accepted, the deep receives the new name. The old name fades. Waiting fades. Trying fades. Unlucky fades. Not chosen fades. Always behind fades. Struggling fades. Close but not there fades. The new name remains. I am the one to whom it comes naturally. I am the one who receives. I am the one who is chosen. I am in the state of fulfillment. Now let this final truth settle softly, for it is the entire movement of this section. I am must no longer be joined to waiting. Waiting is not your home. Waiting is not your name. Waiting is not the garment you carry into the chamber of sleep. I am must be joined to natural fulfillment. I am must be joined to receiving. I am must be joined to being chosen, provided for, guided, and already. Let the new joining begin tonight. I am must no longer be joined to waiting. I am must be joined to natural fulfillment. Now, my friend, we must remove one of the oldest illusions that stands between man and the thing he desires. It is the feeling of distance, not distance in miles, not distance in time, not distance measured by the calendar or by the road, but inward distance. The desire feels far away because man stands in. The outer world may seem to confirm that distance, but the outer world is not the cause of it. The state is the cause. A desire is not far because time says it is far. A desire is not far because men say it is far. A desire is not far because the senses have not yet shown it. It feels far because you are thinking from the state of not having it. The moment you think from lack, even the nearest good appears distant. The moment you think from fulfillment, even what the senses call absent begins to feel inwardly near. This is a great secret. Distance is often not a fact of the desire. It is a feeling of the self. If I stand outside a house and look through the window, I may see the fire burning inside, the table set, the chair waiting, the warmth of the room calling to me. But if I remain outside, looking through the glass, describing the room, admiring the room, longing for the room, envying the one who lives there, I have not entered. I may know much about the room. I may speak of its beauty. I may imagine how wonderful it would be to live there. But as long as I remain outside, my consciousness says, this is not yet mine. Many do this with their desires. They look through the window. They look at love from outside. They look at health from outside. They look at success from outside. They look at freedom from outside. They look at peace from outside. They admire the state. They long for it. They describe it. They speak about it. But they do not enter it. Tonight, you must enter. I am not looking at my desire from outside. I enter it. Let this phrase begin to move you inwardly. I am not looking at my desire from outside. I enter it. The window is not your observation is not your home. The home is the state itself. If you desire the house, enter the house in imagination. If you desire love, enter the state of being loved. If you desire provision, enter the state of being provided for. If you desire peace, enter the state of being free from inner war. Do not stand outside the window and call that faith. Faith enters. A person standing outside a feast is not eating. He may smell the bread. He may see the light through the doors. He may speak of the feast until his words are beautiful. But if he remains outside, he is still hungry. The feast does not nourish him by being admired from afar. It nourishes him when he sits at the table. So it is with desire. You may speak of it, dream of it, write of it, pray about it, affirm it, and still remain outside if the feeling is distance. You must sit at the table in consciousness. You must take the place that would be yours if the desire were already natural. You must feel what you would feel from within the feast, not as one waiting to be invited, as one already seated, not as one smelling bread from outside, as one whose hands are already upon the table, not as one begging for a place, as one who belongs. I am not looking at my desire from outside. I enter it. I think from it. I sleep inside it. This is from looking at to looking from wanting to being, from distance to occupancy. A person thinking of the shore is not resting on the shore. He may imagine the sound of the sea, the coolness of the wind, the firmness of the earth beneath him, the end of the journey, the relief of arrival. But if in feeling he remains at sea, still tossed, still searching, still afraid he will not arrive, then the shore is only an object of desire. He must feel the weight of the voyage lifted. He must hear the waves from the safety of land, not from the anxiety of the boat. He must stand upon the shore in consciousness. So with you tonight, you may have sailed a long time in longing. You may have said, when will I arrive? When will it come? When will I be chosen? When will I be provided for? When will I be free? When will I see the answer? But these questions belong to the sea. Tonight, you think from the shore. You are not trying to reach it. You are resting there inwardly. You are not praying as one lost upon the water. You are breathing as one whose feet have touched land. This is how distance collapses, not by measuring it, not by fighting it, not by asking again and again how far it is. Distance collapses when you change where you stand in imagination. The senses may report distance. They may say the house is not yet yours, the letter has not yet come, the money is not yet seen, the hand is not yet held, the body is not yet fully restored, the opportunity has not yet appeared, the road is not yet open. The senses are faithful to the state that has already been expressed. They are not evil, they are simply late. They tell you of the world that has been formed. But imagination permits you to enter the world that shall be formed. Do not ask the senses to remove distance for you. They cannot do it first. The senses follow. Imagination leads. The outer eye sees distance. The inner eye enters fulfillment. The outer ear hears silence. The inner ear hears the word that implies completion. The outer hand may be empty. The inner hand can hold the evidence. The outer world may seem unchanged. The inner man can already stand in the changed state. This is why I have told you so often, where you go in imagination and make it real, there you begin to go in life. But you must go there. You must not merely think about going there. You must not stand at the edge of the state and admire it. You must enter. You must think from it. You must sleep inside it. I think from it. Let this phrase be known. I think from it, not of it, from it. If I think of being loved, I may still feel unloved. If I think from being, I feel chosen. I do not ask, am I remembered? I feel remembered. I do not ask, am I enough? I rest as one whose heart has been received. If I think of being provided for, I may still feel poor. If I think from being provided for, my relation to life changes. I do not sleep counting threats. I do not make tomorrow a god of fear. I feel that means exist. Roads open, provision belongs, and I am not outside. If I think from success, I feel established. I do not sleep as one unseen. I do not rehearse being overlooked. I stand in the state where my work, my gift, my place, and my contribution are accepted. If I think of health, I may still worship illness. If I think from health, I feel the body as belonging to life, order, strength, and harmony. I no longer make fear the altar upon which I lay my body each night. I let the state of if I think of peace, I may still be at war. If I think from peace, I feel stillness as already mine. I stop asking outer events for permission to rest. I bring rest as my state. Thinking of keeps the thing before you. Thinking from places it beneath your feet. Thinking of makes the desire an image. Thinking from makes it a world. Thinking of may inspire longing. Thinking from creates identity. Tonight, I want you to think from it. I do not remain outside your own desire. The mind may say, but how can I enter what is not yet mine? I answer, by imagination. Imagination is the door through which all states are entered. The outer world is not your jailer unless you give it the power to be so. You may be sitting in one room and in imagination enter another. You may be lying in one condition and in imagination stand in another. You may be surrounded by facts and yet occupy the state that denies them their final authority. This is not the denial of sense, it is the supremacy of imagination. The senses show you one state expressed. Imagination lets you enter another state before it is expressed. The senses say, you are here. Imagination says, you may stand there now. The senses say, it is far. Imagination says, enter. The senses say, wait. Imagination says, be. Distance is maintained by the feeling of being outside. If you continue to feel outside, even years of longing will not bring you inward. You must cease to be an outsider. You must stop making the desire a place you visit in thought but never inhabit. You must stop standing before it as a stranger. Enter the house, sit at the feast, rest on the shore, wear the ring, hold the key, sleep in the fulfilled state. I am not looking at my desire from outside. I enter it, I think from it, I sleep inside it. Let these words become a slow inward movement. Do not say them as commands. Say them as one who is crossing a threshold. I am not looking at my desire from outside. The old position is ending. I enter it. The doorway opens. I think from it. The new world becomes my viewpoint. I sleep inside it. You see, many people think they are very close to manifestation because they think of their desire all day. But thinking of the desire all day from hunger may only magnify hunger. The question is not, how often do you think of it? The question is, where do you stand when you think? A man may think of wealth every hour and remain poor in consciousness. Another may enter the feeling of provision for one quiet moment and be nearer to wealth than the first. A woman may think of love continually and feel rejected. Another may enter the state of being loved and rest there, and she has crossed the inner distance. Frequency is not enough. Intensity is not enough. The state is everything. Where are you standing? Are you outside the house or inside? Are you outside the feast or seated? Are you at sea or on the shore? Are you looking at the desire or thinking from it? Are you wanting it as absent or wearing it as identity? If you feel distance, do not fear it. Simply recognize it as a state. Say, this feeling of distance is not the truth of my desire. It is the state from which I have been looking. Then change where you stand. Do not argue with distance. Do not become ashamed of it. Do not make distance another problem. Enter the fulfilled state, and distance begins to lose its life. A state changes by occupancy, not by condemnation. You do not condemn the old room. You do not curse the window. You enter the house. You do not quarrel with hunger outside the feast. You sit down. You do not fight the sea from the boat forever. You stand on the shore in imagination. The movement is simple. Enter. I enter it. The desire may have appeared far because you kept asking the question from the wrong side. How do I get there is often the question of one outside. How does it feel from here is the question of one who has entered. From the fulfilled state, how does life feel? From the answered state, how does the body rest? From the state of being provided for, how does tomorrow appear? From the state of being loved, how does silence feel? From the state of being guided, how does the unknown road appear? From the fulfilled state, the same world is seen differently. This is why I say that you must change the state from which the world is seen. A man standing in fear sees danger in every uncertainty. The same man standing in guidance sees the unknown as a road being revealed. A man standing in lack sees every bill as a threat. The same man standing in provision sees it as a call already answered. A man standing in rejection sees silence as abandonment. The same man standing in love sees silence as temporary, harmless, or even part of the bridge. The world is colored by the state from which it is seen. If you would remove distance, the desire comes naturally when inner distance dissolves, not when you push harder, not when you beg longer, not when you fear more, not when you watch every sign, when the inner distance dissolves, when the desire no longer feels like a star beyond you, but like a lamp within your house, when the fulfilled state no longer feels like an exception, but like your dwelling, when receiving no longer feels like a question, but like your nature, when I am is no longer standing outside, but seated within the answer, then it comes naturally. What is far to the old state becomes near to the new. What is impossible to the one outside becomes ordinary to the one within. What is a miracle to the beggar becomes normal to the owner. What is a distant dream to the observer becomes home to the inhabitant. This is why I ask you to stop admiring from afar. Do not admire wealth from afar. Enter provision. Do not admire love from afar. Enter being loved. Do not admire peace from afar. Enter stillness. Do not admire health from afar. Enter vitality. Do not admire success from afar. Enter being established. Do not admire freedom from afar. Enter release. Do not admire the fulfilled life from afar. Enter it. Admiration from afar may still be distance. You may admire the thing and yet feel yourself separate from it. There is a kind of reverence that keeps the desire on a pedestal and the self beneath it. That is not assumption. Assumption takes the desire off the pedestal and wears its state. It says, this is not above me, this is natural to me now. It removes distance by identity. It is natural now. Let this phrase collapse distance. It is natural now. The house is not beyond me. I enter it. It is natural now. The feast is not outside me. I sit at the table. It is natural now. The shore is not far. I stand upon it. It is natural now. The desire is not distant. I think from it. It is natural now. I sleep inside it. A man who sleeps outside his desire wakes with the old distance alive. A man who sleeps inside his desire plants nearness in the deep. This is why the moments before sleep are so sacred. The outer world grows dim, and the inner position becomes easier to accept. The body is tired of chasing. The mind is less eager to argue. The senses are no longer as commanding. In this softened hour, you may cross the threshold. Do not bring the old distance to bed. Do not bring the feeling of far away. Do not bring the ache of not yet. Do not bring the posture of looking through the window. Do not bring the hunger of standing outside the feast. Do not bring the fear of never reaching the shore. Bring entrance. Bring occupancy. Bring the feeling of being within. Bring the state. I am not looking at my desire from outside. I enter it. I think from it. I sleep inside it. The words inside it are important. Sleep must receive you inside the state. If sleep receives you outside, the deep is instructed in distance. If sleep receives you inside, the deep is instructed in possession. To sleep inside the desire does not mean to stay awake, forcing images. It means that the final feeling you carry is the feeling of already being in the state. You may choose a simple scene, one quiet scene. You need not build a long story. Perhaps you hear a voice that implies it is done. Perhaps you feel a hand in yours. Perhaps you hold a key. Perhaps you touch a ring. Perhaps you sit in a room that is yours. Perhaps you read a letter bearing good news. Perhaps you feel the body free, light, and well. Perhaps you see yourself walking through your day with a quiet certainty that everything has found its place. But whatever scene you choose, do not watch it from outside as though watching another person. Enter it, look through your own eyes, hear from your own place, touch with your own imaginary hand. Feel the atmosphere around you as one who is there. Do not see yourself loved from a distance. Be loved. Do not see yourself provided for as though watching a portrait. Be provided for. Do not see yourself in the home as an image on a stage. Be in the home. Do not see yourself successful as a character. Be the one standing in that recognition. I enter it. I think from it. I sleep inside it. This is the act that removes distance. If images are faint, do not worry. Feeling can enter even when the picture is soft. The blind man can feel the state. The tired man can feel the mood. The sleepy man can feel naturalness. You do not need a perfect vision. You need inward location. You need to know that you are not outside. You need to let the desire feel like your own atmosphere. Perhaps the only thing you can feel tonight is relief. That is enough if it belongs to fulfillment. Relief says the journey has ended. Relief says the answer has come. Relief says the burden is no longer carried. Relief says you are no longer outside. Enter relief. Think from relief. Sleep inside relief. Perhaps the only thing you can feel is safety. That is enough. If safety implies fulfillment, safety says you are not threatened by the future. Safety says receiving is allowed. Safety says the state can be worn. Enter safety. Think from safety. Sleep inside safety. Perhaps the only thing you can feel is a small certainty. That is enough if certainty implies possession. Certainty says, this belongs. Certainty says, it is natural now. Enter certainty. Think from certainty. Sleep inside certainty. The desire must stop feeling far away, not because you force it near, but because you stop standing in the state that makes it far. If I stand at one end of a road and look toward the other, I call the destination distant. But if in imagination I stand at the destination, the road is behind me. The state changes the relation. You do not need to move physically to change relation inwardly. Imagination moves you now. Let imagination move you from outside to inside, from window to room, from gate to table, from sea to shore, from longing to possession, from when to now, from will it be mine to it is natural now. This movement is the beginning of natural fulfillment. Do not ask, how can something come naturally if I do not chase it? It comes naturally because the state contains it. A tree does not chase fruit through the air. It lives from the state of the tree, and fruit appears according to nature. The sun does not chase light. It is the sun, and light proceeds from what it is. So you must not chase each separate desire as an outsider. Become the one to whom fulfillment is natural, and the desires that belong to that state begin to appear according to the law of the state. The state makes the desire near. The state makes receiving natural. The state makes the bridge possible. The state makes action clean. The state makes waiting unnecessary as identity. The state makes the outer world a follower. Therefore, do not remain in the state of distance. Distance may have become familiar, but familiarity is not truth. You may have slept outside the desire many nights, but tonight can be different. You may have rehearsed absence many times, but tonight you can enter. You may have looked at the desired life through a window, but tonight the window is no longer enough. You must feel yourself within provision, within love, within peace, within health, within success, within freedom, within guidance, within the answered life, within the state where everything you want comes naturally. I am not looking at my desire from outside. Again, I am not looking at my desire from outside. I enter it. Again, I enter it. I think from it. Again, I think from it. I sleep inside it. Again, I sleep inside it. Let the repetition be slow enough for sleep. Let it not become hard. You are not pounding upon the door. You are discovering it was open in consciousness. Enter quietly. Let the room of fulfillment receive you. Let your breathing adjust to the air of it. Let your body become familiar with being there. If the old world appears, let it fade outside the window. You are not asked to hate it. You are not asked to fight it. You are simply no longer sleeping there. The old world may remain as a fading report, but you have changed dwellings. You have entered another state. and the new dwelling will, in time, become the visible house of your life. This is the mercy of imagination. No matter what the senses report, imagination gives you entrance. No matter how long the desire has seemed far, imagination gives you nearness. No matter how many nights you have slept in absence, imagination gives you a new night. No matter how often you have stood outside, imagination opens the door. Enter. Do not admire from afar. Enter. Do not worship the desire as distant. Enter. Do not remain outside the feast. Enter. Do not think only of the shore. Stand upon it. Do not think only of the house. Live there. Do not think only of fulfillment. Be fulfilled. This is what I mean when I say, think from it. It is not a trick of words. It is a change of residence. It is the inner man moving from one state to another. The body may remain still upon the bed, but the real man has moved. And when the real man moves, life must eventually follow. Tonight, then, we use the night to collapse the feeling of distance. The distance between you and provision. The distance between you and love. The distance between you and peace. The distance between you and health. The distance between you and success. The distance between you and freedom. The distance between you and the answer. The distance between you and the fulfilled life. Not by force, by entrance, not by chasing, by occupancy, not by begging, by assumption, not by waiting, by thinking from. The desire is no longer far when I enter its state. The desire is no longer far when I enter its state. The desire is no longer far when I think from it. The desire is no longer far when I sleep inside it. The desire is no longer far when it feels natural now. Let the night take this in. Let the mind soften within it. Let the heart come home within it. I am not looking at my desire from outside. I enter it. I think from it. I sleep inside it. And tonight the night itself will be used to collapse the feeling of distance. I enter the state. Everything I want comes naturally. I do not chase. I do not force. I assume. I receive. It is natural now. What I desire belongs to my state. I think from the wish fulfilled. I sleep as the one who already has it. The law works in silence. The world follows the state I sleep in. I am guided. I am provided for. I am chosen. I am supported. I am open to receive. It comes naturally. It comes naturally. It comes naturally. I enter the state where everything I want comes naturally. I enter quietly. I enter softly. I enter without strain. I enter without asking the world for permission. I enter without looking back at lack. I enter without waiting. I enter without wondering. I enter the state. Everything I want comes naturally. I do not chase. I do not force. I do not beg. I do not plead. I do not wrestle with appearances. I do not argue with the senses. I do not ask the old world to tell me who I am. I assume. I receive. I rest. It is natural now. What I desire belongs to my state. It belongs to the one I am now. It belongs to the identity I wear now. It belongs to the consciousness I carry into sleep. It is natural now. I think from the wishful. I do not think of it as distant. I think from it as home. I do not look at it through a window. I stand within it. I do not stand outside the feast. I sit at the table. I do not think of the shore from the sea. I rest upon the shore. I think from the wish fulfilled. I sleep as the one who already has it. I sleep as the one who is already in the state. I sleep as the one who is already provided for. I sleep as the one who is already chosen. I sleep as the one who is already guided. I sleep as the one who is already supported. I sleep as the one who receives. I sleep as the one to whom it comes naturally. The bridge is forming. I do not need to see the whole bridge. The bridge is forming. I do not need to know every step. The bridge is forming. I do not need to command every person. The bridge is forming. I do not need to arrange every hour. The bridge is forming. The law works in silence. The law works while I rest. The law works while I sleep. The law works beneath the surface. The law works without my anxious supervision. The law works in ways I do not need to calculate. The law works in silence. The world follows the state I sleep in. The world follows the state. The mirror follows the face. The shadow follows the body. The echo follows the voice. The world follows the state I sleep in. I sleep in fulfillment. I sleep in natural possession. I sleep in calm receiving. I sleep in the state where everything I want comes naturally. I am guided. I am provided for. I am chosen. I am supported. I am open to receive. I am safe to receive. I am calm to receive. I am ready to receive. I am willing to receive. I am natural to receiving. Receiving is natural to me now. It comes naturally. Good comes naturally. Love comes naturally. Provision comes naturally. Peace comes naturally. Health comes naturally. Success comes naturally. Freedom comes naturally. Guidance comes naturally. The answer, the way comes naturally. The bridge comes naturally. It comes naturally. It comes naturally. I enter the state. Everything I want comes naturally. I do not chase. I do not force. I assume. I receive. It is natural now. What I desire belongs to my state. I think from the wish fulfilled. I sleep as the one who already has it. The bridge is forming. The law works in silence. The world follows the state I sleep in. I am guided. I am provided for. I am chosen. I am open to receive. It comes naturally. It comes naturally. It comes naturally. I am not waiting. I am in the state. I am not lacking. I am in the state. I am not outside. I am in the state. I am not chasing. I am in the state. I am not asking when. I am in the state. I am not asking how. I am in the state. I am not begging life to remember me. I am in the state. I am not trying to become the one. I am the one now. I am the one to whom it comes naturally. I am the one who receives. I am the one who is chosen. I am the one who is provided for. I am the one who is guided. I am the one who is supported. I am the one whose desire finds its way. I am the one who sleeps fulfilled. It is natural now. It is natural now. It is natural now. My good is natural to me now. My desire is natural to me now. My fulfilled state is natural to me now. Receiving is natural to me now. Being chosen is natural to me now. Being provided for is natural to me now. Being guided is natural. Being supported is natural to me now. Being at peace is natural to me now. Being fulfilled is natural to me now. It is natural now. It is natural now. It is natural now. It is natural now. I enter the state. I enter provision. I enter love. I enter peace. I enter health. I enter success. I enter freedom. I enter guidance. I enter the answered state. I enter the fulfilled life. I enter the state where everything I want comes naturally. I do not chase provision. I enter provision. I enter being loved. I do not chase peace. I enter peace. I do not chase health. I enter vitality. I do not chase success. I enter being established. I do not chase freedom. I enter release. I do not chase guidance. I enter trust. I do not chase the answer. I enter the answered state. I do not chase the fulfilled life. I enter it. I enter it. I enter it. I receive. I receive calmly. I receive naturally. I receive safely. I receive without asking whether I deserve it. I receive because I am in the state that receives. I receive because I am the one now. I receive because it is natural now. I receive because what I desire belongs to my state. I receive. I receive. I receive. Everything I want comes naturally. Everything true belongs to my fulfilled state. Everything needed belongs to my fulfilled state. Everything wanted comes naturally from the state I sleep in. The bridge is forming. The way is opening. The answer is moving. The means are gathering. The right word is preparing. The right person is moving. The right road is appearing. The right door is opening. The right timing is arranging. The right feeling is accepted. The bridge is forming. The bridge is forming. The bridge is forming. I do not supervise the bridge. I sleep in the end. I do not force the bridge. I sleep in the end. I do not fear the bridge. I sleep in the end. I do not question the bridge. I sleep in the end. I do not dig up the seed. I sleep in the end. The law works in silence. The law works in the unseen. The law works in the deep. The law works while I rest. The law works while I sleep. The law works beneath all appearances. The law works beyond my calculation. The law works from the state. The law works in silence. I am guided. The right way finds me. I am provided for. The means find me. I am chosen. Belonging finds me. Help finds me. I am open to receive. Good finds me. I am in the state. The world follows. I am in the end. The bridge forms. I am in natural possession. It comes naturally. It comes naturally. It comes naturally. It comes naturally. I sleep as the one who already has it. I sleep as the one who no longer waits. I sleep as the one who no longer chases. I sleep as the one who no longer asks when. I sleep as the one who no longer asks how. I sleep as the one who no longer I sleep as the one who is inside the fulfilled state. I sleep as the one who is calm. I sleep as the one who is safe. I sleep as the one who is chosen. I sleep as the one who is provided for. I sleep as the one who is guided. I sleep as the one who receives. I sleep as the one to whom it comes naturally. Everything I want comes naturally. It comes naturally to the state I now occupy. It comes naturally to the one I now am. It comes naturally to the identity I now wear. It comes naturally to the consciousness I now carry. It comes naturally to the sleep I now enter. It comes naturally. It comes naturally. It comes naturally. I do not chase. I occupy. I do not force. I assume. I do not plead. I receive. I do not wait anxiously. I sleep fulfilled. I do not look from lack. I think from the wish fulfilled. I do not sleep outside the desire. I sleep inside the state. I do not ask the senses for permission. I give the state to the deep. Everything I want comes naturally. I do not chase. I do not force. I assume. I receive. It is natural now. What I desire belongs to my state. I think from the wish fulfilled. I sleep as the one who already has it. The bridge is forming. The law works in silence. The world follows the state I sleep in. I am guided. I am provided for. I am chosen. I am supported. I am open to receive. It comes naturally. It comes naturally. It comes naturally. My body rests. My breath rests in the fulfilled state. My heart rests in the fulfilled state. My mind rests in the fulfilled state. My inner voice rests in the fulfilled state. My imagination rests in the fulfilled state. My sleep receives the fulfilled state. It is natural now. The body does not chase. The breath does not force. The heart does not beg. The mind does not argue. The inner man does not wait. I enter the state. I sleep fulfilled. It comes naturally. My shoulders release waiting. My breath releases fear. My hands release grasping. My jaw releases argument. My heart releases distance. My whole being enters natural possession. I enter the state. I receive. It is natural now. The desire is not far. It is natural now. The answer is not far. It is natural now. The fulfilled life is not far. It is natural now. I am not outside my desire. I am inside the state. I am not outside provision. I am inside provision. I am not outside peace. I am inside peace. I am not outside success. I am inside being established. I am not outside freedom. I am inside release. I am not outside guidance. I am inside trust. I am not outside the answer. I am inside the answered state. I sleep inside fulfillment. I sleep inside naturalness. I sleep inside receiving. I sleep inside the state where everything wanted comes naturally. It comes naturally. It comes naturally. It comes naturally. I am the one now. I am the one who receives. I am the one who rests. I am the one who is guided. I am the one who is provided for. I am the one who is chosen. I am the one who is supported. I am the one who is safe. I am the one who is open. I am the one to whom good comes naturally. I am the one to whom the answer comes naturally. I am the one to whom the way opens naturally. I am the one whose desire finds its way naturally. I am the one who sleeps fulfilled. I am the one, I am the one. The old waiting is gone. The old chasing is gone. The old forcing is gone. The old lack is gone. The old question is gone. The old distance is gone. The old name is gone. I am in the state. I am in the fulfilled state. I am in natural possession. It is natural now. It is natural now. It is natural now. Everything I want comes naturally. Everything I desire belongs to my state. Everything true finds its way. Everything needed is arranged. Everything lovely is received. Everything good is natural to me now. The bridge is forming. The law works in silence. The world follows the state I sleep in. I sleep in the state. I sleep in the end. I sleep in natural possession. I sleep in the quiet certainty of fulfillment. I sleep as the one who already has it. I sleep as the one to whom it comes naturally. I enter the state. I do not chase. I receive. It is natural now. The bridge is forming. I sleep fulfilled. It comes naturally. I enter the state. I do not. I receive. It is natural now. The bridge is forming. I sleep fulfilled. It comes naturally. I enter the state. I do not chase. I receive. It is natural now. The bridge is forming. I sleep fulfilled. It comes naturally. I enter. I receive. It is natural. The bridge is forming. I sleep fulfilled. It comes naturally. I enter. I receive. It is natural. I sleep fulfilled. It comes naturally. I enter. I receive. It is natural. Everything I want comes naturally. I do not chase. I receive. I sleep fulfilled. It comes naturally. I enter the state. Everything I want comes naturally. I do not chase. I receive. I sleep fulfilled. It comes naturally. I enter the state. Everything I want comes naturally. I do not chase. I receive. I sleep fulfilled. It comes naturally. It is natural now. It is natural now. It is natural now. I am guided. I am provided for. I am chosen. I am safe to receive. I am ready to receive. I am receiving now in consciousness. Everything I want comes naturally. The law works in silence. The bridge is forming. The world follows the state I sleep in. I sleep in the state. I sleep in the end. I sleep fulfilled. It comes naturally. It comes naturally. It comes naturally. I enter the state. I enter quietly. I enter softly. I enter deeply. I enter naturally. I enter the state where everything I want comes naturally. I do not chase. I do not force. I assume. I receive. I rest. It is natural now. I do not think of the desire as far. I think from the desire as fulfilled. I do not think of the answer as distant. I think from the answered state. I do not think of good as outside me. I think from natural possession. I think from the wish fulfilled. I sleep as the one who already has it. The bridge is forming. The law works in silence. The world follows the state I sleep in. I am guided. I am provided for. I am supported. I am open to receive. It comes naturally. It comes naturally. It comes naturally. I enter the state. I do not chase. I receive. It is natural now. The bridge is forming. I sleep fulfilled. It comes naturally. I enter the state. I do not chase. I receive. It is natural now. The bridge is forming. I sleep fulfilled. It comes naturally. I enter the state. I do not chase. I receive. It is natural now. The bridge is forming. I sleep fulfilled. Now the words grow softer. I enter. I receive. It is natural. The bridge forms. I sleep fulfilled. It comes naturally. I enter. I receive. It is natural. I sleep fulfilled. It comes naturally. I enter. I receive. I rest. It is natural. It comes naturally. I enter. I receive. I rest. It comes naturally. I receive. I rest. It is natural. It comes naturally. I receive. I rest. It is natural. Everything comes naturally from the end. Everything comes naturally from the fulfilled self. Everything comes naturally from I am. I am in the state. I am receiving. I am guided. I am provided for. I am chosen. I am supported. I am fulfilled. I am at rest. I am, I am, I am. It is natural now. 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 The desire belongs. The answer belongs. The bridge belongs. The good belongs. I rest. I do not wait. I sleep fulfilled. I do not ask when. I sleep in the end. I do not ask how. The bridge is forming. I do not ask whether I deserve it. I am in the state. I do not stand outside. I sleep inside it. I sleep inside fulfillment. I sleep inside peace. I sleep inside provision. I sleep inside love. I sleep inside guidance. I sleep inside natural receiving. I sleep inside the state where everything wanted comes naturally. It comes naturally. I enter the state. I receive. It is natural now. I sleep fulfilled. It comes naturally. I enter the state. I receive. It is natural now. I sleep fulfilled. It comes naturally. I enter the state. I receive. It is natural now. I sleep fulfilled. It comes naturally. I enter. I receive. It is natural. I sleep fulfilled. It comes naturally. I enter. I receive. It is natural. I sleep fulfilled. It comes naturally. The state is accepted. The desire is natural. The answer is natural. The bridge is natural. Receiving is natural. Fulfillment is natural. Sleep receives the state. Sleep receives fulfillment. Sleep receives natural possession. Sleep receives I am. I am the one. I am the one who receives. I am the one who rests. I am the one who is guided. I am the one who is provided for. I am the one who is chosen. I am the one to whom it comes naturally. It comes naturally. It comes naturally. It comes naturally. I enter the state. I receive. It is natural now. I sleep fulfilled. It comes naturally. I enter the state. I receive. It is natural now. I sleep fulfilled. It comes naturally. I enter the state. I receive. It is natural now. I sleep fulfilled. It comes naturally. Softer now. I enter. I receive. It is natural. I sleep fulfilled. It comes naturally. Softer now. I enter. I receive. It is natural. I sleep fulfilled. It comes naturally. I enter. I receive. I sleep fulfilled. It comes naturally. I receive. I sleep fulfilled. It comes naturally. I receive. I sleep fulfilled. It comes naturally. I receive. It is natural. It comes naturally. I receive. It is natural. It comes naturally. I receive. 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 It comes It comes naturally. It comes naturally. It comes naturally. I enter the state. I receive. It is natural now. I sleep fulfilled. It comes naturally. I enter the state. I receive. It is natural now. I sleep fulfilled. It comes naturally. I enter the state. I receive. It is natural now. I sleep fulfilled. It comes naturally. I enter. I receive. It is natural. I sleep fulfilled. It comes naturally. I enter. I receive. It is natural. I sleep fulfilled. It comes naturally. I receive. It is natural. I sleep fulfilled. It comes naturally. I receive. It is natural. I sleep fulfilled. It comes naturally. I receive. I sleep fulfilled. It comes naturally. I receive. I sleep fulfilled. It comes naturally. I receive. 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 It comes naturally. It is natural. It is natural now. I sleep fulfilled. It comes naturally. I enter the state. I receive. It is natural now. I sleep fulfilled. It comes naturally. It comes naturally. It comes naturally.